250 I start with. Come.
But I say unto you, love your enemies. Bless them that curse you. Do good to them that hate you. And pray for them which despitefully use you and persecute you.
Which is the first commandment of all?
Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord. Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy might, and with all thy strength. This is the first and great commandment, and the second is like unto it. Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. On these two commandments hang all the law and the prophets.
Master, thou hast said the truth. There is one God, and none other but He. And to love Him with all the heart, and with all the understanding, and with all the soul, and with all the strength, and to love his neighbor as himself, is more than all the whole burnt offerings and sacrifices.
Thou art not far from the kingdom of God.
Show they got Wale.
What's up, y'all?
Whoa, hold on.
Is that line is Texas?
You do something. What you be doing?
I'm on here freestyling for people, man. Can I do a freestyle for you guys?
That's that dude. That's the TikToker.
Oh, damn. Yo, can I do a freestyle for you guys?
Give us one. Wait, turn it up.
Hold on. We gotta give him words. We gotta give him words.
Give me the most creative, challenging words you can think of.
Ambidextrous.
Ambidextrous.
Okay.
Yeah,
Pedestrians. Okay, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Another big one.
Another big
Chronicle.
one. Afghanistan.
Afghanistan. All right.
Okay. Revolutionary.
Ambidextrous, chronicle, Afghanistan, and revolutionary. Those are the words? Y'all ready?
Yep.
All right, let's go. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Other artists really need to get the flex up. When it come to freestyles, yo, I'm next up. I be shining kinda like my man's necklace. Use both sides of my brain, I'm ambidextrous. I'm the freshest type. They can feel the vibes from left to right. Y'all know that I'm the dopest on jams. Ambidextrous, cause I can use both of my hands. Then again, it don't matter if I'm right or left-handed, cause I never write it. I hope you understand it. I provide it right off the tip of the brain. And when I'm spitting for my people, all my shit is insane. I make it happen. I'ma kick a rap verse. Shout to my homie with the necklace and the black shirt. Filming on the phone, gotta get it on your camera. They got questions, Harry is the answer. Yeah, I'm about to make it known. When I rhyme, I be entering the crazy zone. Thank you for the words, y'all came up with the good stuff. Shout the homie chilling in the middle with his hood up. I go beyond your flow, going places other rappers wanna go. Do it by myself, no sponsor, bro. I'm delivering the rap chronicles. Your level up, I go beyond it. Matter of fact, I'm about to get you lifted like the Chronic. Can't nobody else rock this way. High like the Chronic, that's word of Dr. Dre. H-Mac, I'ma put it down. Every time I'm rhyming, they be loving my sound. Can't nobody really do it like me. Winning in my psyche. Shout my homie who be rocking Nike. On the zip up, I get props. Whenever I be spitting, they gon' see me on TikTok for hip hop. I'ma put it down for all of y'all. I be cold shivery. This here is the Chronicle delivery. Delivering the magazine and the periodical. I got the hottest flow, you know I brought it, bro. I ain't never slipping. Yeah, y'all just be assistant. I'm Michael Jordan, these rappers like Pippen. Think they on my level, homie, they be tripping. I grip the mic and then I'm about to slam the jam from LA to Afghanistan. I'm about to break it down till I find my peace. They put my music in the Middle East, yeah. All my lyrics are gigantic, I'm about to make them panic. They can feel my shit across the whole planet, yeah. Lyrics is what I'm about to push. He was like, yo, he's rapping right now. He said, shush, please be quiet, he's really getting down. I'ma blow your mind with the rhymes that's profound. I be doing me, and y'all know they never doing Harry. When it come to lyrics, all my flows are revolutionary. What I mean to say is when I'm spitting off the brain, I be revolutionary, go against the grain. I'm about to make a change the whole earth. I'm about to blow your mind with the freestyle verse. The beat stopped, but I wasn't ready to end. H-Mac be the freestyle internet trend. Let's go.
Yo, what?
Yo, let's go. We're live You know, guys, I did a premiere earlier on. Nobody turned up.
I did.
Vicky and Fuzzy. But yeah, I did a premiere earlier on. After we did the live this morning, earlier this morning doing the movies and that. I had a couple hours sleep. I woke up and seen a video from live Banjo. Banjo. Yeah, I had to react to a bit of it. It's in my videos because it was a premiere. It's only got about 16 views at the minute, so it probably won't get many. It's about Coriolis. Anyway. But yeah, they're starting in 3 minutes, 4 minutes. So that's enough time to say hello to everybody and show Jim Anus's new video.
Mr. Anus.
And the who's. Hey, Thomas Morgan. Right. Hello to everybody. Right. What did Roger mean by thanks, Vicky?
No idea.
Right. Roger. No, I know you're not here. So MDN. No, there's nobody in thingy at the minute. Rumble. Just cool. So hello. Roger. Hello, Vicky. Hello, John. Oh. Hello, me.
Hi.
Me.
All right, there,
How's that? Good to see you, bro. Jim Anus in the house. Who else? Dylan, bro. Good to see you. Nice. Thomas, good to see you, bro.
And Mr. Nelson Derek.
Oh, Derek Nelson in the house. Good to see you guys. Good to see you. See you starting yet.
Before you start.
We've still got 2 minutes, and Jim's video is 2 minutes.
Okay, put the video on. But I did see Sandro in David Banner's chat, and I said thank you because I found out earlier that Sandro sent PJ some money to buy me some flowers.
Yeah, that's right. I didn't notice it until now. He sent it today. I don't know when today, but I only noticed it. So yeah, thank you, Sandro, bro. Bless you, man. Bless you. Send a PayPal. I'm
gonna order some on Monday.
Okay, cool.
And then I'll do a little video thanking Sandro.
It's a good idea, baby. It's a good idea.
Oh no.
Right.
Any a sweetie though?
What?
Any a sweetie?
Of course. I made a new layout up there. Look, I think it's pretty cool. It just depends. Anyway, it just depends on what's.
Can I just say though, I've had so much fun annoying Catherine in David Banner's chat today. I was like, what? She called me a poisonous witch, and I said, thank you. That's the nicest thing you've ever said to me.
Yeah, there you go.
But your insults don't affect me. Not your insults.
Come on, it's 1 minute before the start, and this Jim Maines is finished 2 minutes. Right, behold the Phil-belled cockatoo. Like it.
What's that bird?
I don't know.
Is it like a cockatoo?
I don't know.
It looks like a black cockatoo.
No. Let me see what it will look like up there. Maybe a bit better. I don't know.
No, it does. Jim, what kind of birds are they? Derek, Catherine got muted in David Banner's chat. Yeah.
Yo, good.
But was it Boris Chomp?
Right, waiting for Modern Day debate to start. So they're just
don't
waiting.
That look like a yellow-tailed black cockatoo? Yeah. So it is a cockatoo.
Aye.
They're beautiful though. You have some beautiful birds.
That's it, definitely.
We get what are they called? The blooming Australian.
Kookaburra.
Yeah, we get kookaburras in the UK now. Not far from PJ's, they've got the ringneck.
Oh, wow. It's really slow on YouTube. It's looking out.
You know the ringneck parrot?
Being really slow on YouTube. I think my internet's all apart. T-Runner just deleted the thing, whatever. Okay, I don't know what's going on there. Hope it doesn't mess up I mean, it's not messing up. Come on, start.
They're beautiful birds.
I know, but why is it not playing properly on YouTube?
I don't know.
Oh, Jackie. Oh, hold on.
Jono has a ring neck.
Maybe because it's on HD. Hold on. Let me just put it on 720.
Does it?
What?
Jim said Jono has a ring neck.
Oh, I don't know. What do you mean? What's that?
They've got them in Longford, not far from you.
Okay.
Green neck
Okay, I get it.
parrots, they are.
I get you. Well, that's very
They've
jerky.
red and
I don't know
yellow.
what's going on? Really jerky.
Yeah, they're,
Wow.
they're an
Anyway,
invasive species.
We're talking at the same time, you know.
Sorry.
It's all right.
It's because I'm talking to people in chat about birds.
Sandro in the house. Oh, it's because it's
Sandro.
slow this side as well. It
See,
goes
look,
jerky this side. It's meant to be
about
like
him when
that.
he comes in.
Babe, you're speaking at the same time.
Sorry.
Well, go on, say what you're saying. Say what you're saying. Right.
I said
Nice
you
one,
speak
Jim.
about
Nice one, Jim.
you speak about him and he comes in. Look, I was just saying,
No.
Sandra, about you sending PJ money to get me flowers.
Yeah, thanks for that, Sandro, bro.
Thank you.
Thanks for
You're a
that.
sweetheart.
Absolutely, bro. I'm just waiting for this blooming thing to start. And once it starts, I'll be getting rid of the chat. I'm not interested in their chat whatsoever. Whatsoever. That's the whole reason I do this, yeah. We don't have to look at their chat.
I said on David Banner's that you were sharing it, and Jono was like, put the link in, so I did.
Well, I put the link in here. I didn't know what link he was on about, but I put it in here anyway. So you might
No,
that's
put
my,
your
still
link.
doing it. Go on.
Put your link in David Banner's chat.
Okay, thank you. Come on, why are you so late? 3 p.m. 2 minutes late. I'm never that late. Come on.
They're probably doing their makeup.
Probably. Come on,
Bit
come
of
on. How many
foundation.
people? Hold on. How many people have got waiting now? 213 waiting. 213. Hey, Sogs, good to see you, bro. We're just waiting for them to start. We're just waiting for the debate to start. It's live, so tickets linked below. So you need to pay tickets. Where's the entrance fee, guys?
Can I just say,
10 or each in my PayPal, and you can have a ticket.
there's my
Joking.
Moomin.
Me
Hi,
joking.
Moomin.
Me joking anyway. Me joking. Right? Come on. But I think he's taking on more than he can chew. Andrew Wilson will not go easy on him. He knows his scripture. He's Orthodox Christian, but he knows his scripture, man. He knows his scripture. Come on, get started. Let me just refresh it. See, other people's chats come back. Right, let me see if their chat comes back. Oh, see, it does. It just doesn't come back in mine. It's weird. Really weird. I don't get it. I really don't get it. Come on.
See now
So
when Alan
late.
sends,
Say again, man.
when Alan sends me flowers in chat,
Yeah.
I'm gonna say, well, Sandro buys me flowers in real life.
Cool.
T Ronnie has been here before.
T Ronnie.
Yeah.
Hold on. I can't because my chat disappeared. I can't see him at the minute, so he'd have to type in again. Can't see him because my
Hey,
chat
Ronnie,
disappears
can you
every
just
time I
type
refresh. What? Stop talking over me. What?
I thought you'd stopped.
No.
I said, T Ronnie, can you just say hi in chat quick?
Yeah, so I can give you a spanner. Because I got rid of my when I refresh my screen, my chat goes, so come on. 210 waiting. I'm one of them. You know what I mean?
As soon as they start talking, I'm going.
Why?
Because I don't like debates.
Yeah, I'd love it. Oh, I'd love to see. I mean, come on. Well, I watch Andrew when he's talking to the OnlyFans girls, telling them they shouldn't be doing it and that. and the woke people. It's on the whatever clips. It's brilliant, brilliant stream. Brilliant
like
show.
watching-
Oh, here we go. Starting. Right, hold on. Here we go.
It's like
Here we
watching men
go.
argue.
Here we go. Hold on, mate.
Ding dong.
Hey, shut up. Hurry up with the bloody. Thank you for your sponsor. Right, okay. I'll wait until all it comes on properly. Right, let's get rid of the chat though. Make it big.
Craig McNeil.
Mhm.
O'Neill. Is it O'Neill?
Wondering if we better up here. There we go.
What was that?
Yeah, I know. He said he flew out. Flats told us yesterday. There's no sound. What's going on? There's no sound. Come on, MDD. There's no sound. Get it sorted.
To debate Con 5.
Oh, it is. There is sound. It's just really quiet. No way.
No, he didn't have the mic till just then.
No,
My
it's
name
so
is Thomas
quiet.
Sheedy, president of Atheists for Liberty,
Did you just
a
turn that up?
501c3
I don't know.
nonprofit organization that stands for free speech, free thinking, freedom for all. At AFL, we are firm believers in everyone's right to
Very
freedom
low.
of speech. When I heard
Very,
about
very
debate
low.
Con
Oh,
5
what we're doing now?
and today's theme of religion versus atheism, I just knew Atheists for Liberty had to be one of its first sponsors.
Hold on. I've got a bit better up here.
Before we begin, I have to address a very disheartening reality. My friend, Alex O'Connor, many of you know as Cosmic Skeptic, was supposed to be here as one of the debaters.
Why is that?
Instead,
Bloody,
he came under
why is
threat
that line
by
there?
radical Islamists and had to withdraw.
What's going on with this? I need to
We
refresh
understand
this.
why.
Don't know what's going on. It's not. The line's not going away.
Instead, he came under threat by radical Islamists and had to.
What
We
the
understand
heck?
why Alex did this, and we hope he's safe. But this is disgraceful. No
Right,
one,
it's gone.
least
Thank
of all
you.
religious zealots, should have the power to shut down speech from people they
Hold on.
disagree with, or anyone for that matter. These are the people who fly airplanes into our buildings.
No, really.
They fight wars of religion that belong in the Dark Ages. They can't even agree on whether women are people. And they want to control what we say? No. We will not cave into terrorism. Free speech.
He does look nervous, doesn't he, Derek? Very nervous.
And that's what all of us are ensuring. That's what all we're ensuring here just by being here. We are saying no to radical Islamism and censorship. Whatever side you fall on today's issues, you are affirming everyone's right to hold an opinion and peaceably fight for it. By being here, we are proving
Moomin, good to see you, bro. Good to see you.
the power to shut speech.
By the way, I'm just showing this. I'm just covering this. I'm not doing a reviewing it. I think Flats will be reviewing it. We're just showing it live, so you don't have to go to that chat.
This
I'm gonna
once
drop.
again, I'm Thomas Sheedy.
What, babe?
I'm gonna drop, but I'll be in chat.
All right, baby. Love you.
Love you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
And now I am going to hand the microphone to the head of Uncensored America, Sean Semenko.
Yes, but exactly, Baza. Exactly, bro. An atheist with the right of free
Hello,
right
everybody.
speech.
Thank you all
who
for
said
coming
they
out
can speak.
today.
Exactly.
I'm the founder of Uncensored America, which is a free speech organization on college campuses. We host people that are censored, canceled, and just generally controversial. And we discuss all kinds of topics and issues. We've hosted people like Milo Yiannopoulos, Gab McGinnis, Alex Stein, John Doyle, Destiny, and anybody in between, left, right, or center. We'll host anybody.
Hi, Moomin. He's trying to pop out his buys, isn't he? He's trying to pop out his biceps and his chest.
No matter what threats they make, no matter they'll try to intimidate you, they'll try to scare you into silence. But everybody being here right now proves that we're not going to be scared. We're going to keep having conversations and doing the awful, scary thing of saying words and making vibrations in the air. So I'd like to thank everybody for coming out. And now I'm going to hand it off to the moderator and host of the event, Dr. James Coons. Thank you, James.
Thank you very much for being here, folks. We are thrilled for this epic event. I'm going to give you a couple of quick housekeeping things. So the restrooms are...
James has got his trousers on. He's not sitting at his desk with his trousers off and just in his boxers.
No, when we get
Does
there,
look like a
but
doctor.
just a heads up, minor difference, 15 minutes. I want to introduce our speakers, but before doing that, I also want to make sure I remember our third sponsor is Manifold. And while Stephen couldn't be here today to talk about Manifold, it's an online prediction market where you don't have to gamble your actual money. It's just play money. You can predict outcomes.
Canada, good to see you, man.
This time for DebateCon 5, in which we'll have a market where people can predict who will be most persuasive in the debates. This is only for 2 of our debates today, but the way it'll work is we're going to have people raise their hands. If you, in fact, we're going to do this count right now, happen to lean more toward Craig, our atheist, secular, humanist friend, on today's debate topic, which is best for society, secular humanism, or Christianity, could you slip your...
Aye, Canada, you do. You see him on. You see him on. He's on. He's on stream. It's called. He's on channels called The Crucible. But you do see him talking to OnlyFans girls, trying to tell them what they're doing is wrong and that on whatever clips. That's probably where you've seen it. That's Andrew Wilson, the one with the beard. This one here is FTFE. That's Craig. That's Craig from FTFE. And this is Modern Day Debate, the moderator of Modern Day Debate. And they're at DebateCon. As you can see, Modern Day Debate's logos there. Anyway, let's get the sound back on. We're not going to hear the crowd, obviously, because they're not mic'd up. Hey, Mojo, good to see you, bro.
Excellent. All right. So we'll do that again at the end. Do want to do one other quick thing, which is I want to introduce our guests.
No way.
Before doing that, I want to say a huge thank you to all of our sponsors.
Sorry, before I go back on it, I just noticed in the bottom right corner, sponsored by Atheists for Liberty. Come on. Come on, man. Unbelievable. What am I doing? Unbelievable.
Supporting us in that mission. But going first, Andrew Wilson is the owner of the popular entertainment channel Crucible. Debates all over the world and also unusually handsome. So thank you very much for that.
Write it.
Yes.
And Craig's an umpty.
But Craig McNeil, representing secular humanism today, is a nuclear engineer turned YouTube
atheism.
Is a globe-smacking, flat earth-destroying legend whose debates leave conspiracy theorists questioning.
Is he hell? He couldn't debunk a donkey.
Seat and get us started.
Right, I'll shut up now, guys. I'll shut up. Let them debate. I'll just say hi to people as they come in.
James, can I say something just before we start?
Of course.
Great. So I was pretty authoritative when they was talking about free speech. You know, we will not be cowed to these people when it comes to free speech. But he was. And the Christians showed up and they didn't. They didn't show up. He didn't show up. He bowed to the threats. We didn't bow to the threats. So no, I'm not willing to give you the slack. Sorry.
Hey, Flats, good to see you, bro. Good to see you, man. Links at the top if you want to come in.
Opening statements from each guest. Andrew, the floor is all yours for your 10-minute opening.
It's like a funeral in here. You guys, you can make some noise. It's okay, right? You can, yeah, there you go. Gonna enjoy yourselves today. It's perfectly acceptable. It's all right. The Humanist Manifesto, which is actually called Humanism and Its Aspirations. Humanist Manifesto 3. Blah, blah, blah. It's got a stupid title. It's terribly written. And it's complete nonsense, and no human being should ever adhere to it for the purpose of human flourishing or anything else, yet some do, like Craig here. Its greatest issue is simply that it only makes vague, descriptive claims and not one prescription for what it should actually do.
No problems,
So
lads.
I propose a new revised manifesto, and I'm calling it Humanist for Society and Its Consequences. Note, while drinking in my cramped hotel room last night at an airport holiday,
looks really
inn,
nervous.
James, I wrote this manifesto, which is the culmination of a
Hey, Godlike Reductions, good to see you.
Irish sensibilities and just a drab of single malt whiskey. Now, the quote unquote normal modern day debate viewer, who we would just refer to in the crucible as not very smart, and, you know, kind of fun to philosophically torture, much like a cat and mouse gently severing their soul from their body piece by agonizing piece, metaphorically, of course, not to mention being better than them in basically every aspect of life. Luckily, the crucible's here. In case the low IQ MDD liberal scum wants to whine and cry for another 2 hours of Q&A after
my
their
goodness.
man-humping Earth Daddy fled the room with his boy toy tears in his eyes while his dress was flowing. I don't think we're going to see a repeat of that this time, though, right? I can go nowhere. Okay, great. You can leave. Let's launch into my new and improved Humanist Manifesto. Craig will be unable to refute any of my prescriptions based on his manifesto if he only uses his manifesto. Instead, he will require a normative framework to supplement that manifesto. He has to do this because without using the manifesto, what are we even arguing about? I can refute his prescriptions based on Christian ethics, church tradition, and effects to society, which is what this debate's about. What is best for society? But he's unable to apply that standard with the Humanist Manifesto itself. He must appeal to the source.
Isn't it just, Blats? Isn't it just? Craig hasn't got a chance.
Actual conceivable effect on society, yet Christianity does. He offers descriptions, I offer prescriptions. So here it is. I'm going to read to you the tenets of humanism according to the Humanist Manifesto itself, their own words.
Hey, dear Banner, good to see you.
Logical prescription to each tenet. Now, Craig has to debunk each of my prescriptions using the Humanist Manifesto, or he loses. Why does he lose? Well, because I can debunk the stated prescriptions easily using Christian ethics, and he can't debunk or even successfully argue against one using the Humanist Manifesto. He requires something else. Do you see the problem here? First tenet, Humanist Manifesto. Knowledge of the world is derived by observation, experiment, and rational analysis. Humanists find that science is the best method for determining this knowledge, as well as solving problems and developing beneficial technologies. My prescription based on that. The birth rate is low, therefore all women must be forcibly bred. Experiments must be conducted on them to maximize fertility and thereby maximize human flourishing because science, and that is good. Humans, this is tenet 2 of the manifesto, humans are an integral part of nature, the result of unguided evolutionary change. Humanists recognize nature as self-existing. We accept our life as all and enough distinguished things as they are from the things we might wish or imagine them to be. So my prescription based on this vague nonsense, because humans are unguided, they require guidance. Maximum force from the state can lend itself to maximum results. People ought to accept things as they are, and that requires ending all charity to avoid giving them false hope, and that is good. Tenet 3, ethical values are derived from human needs and interest is tested by experience. This is in the Humanist Manifesto as well. So my prescription based on that, we ought to have an emperor. He ought to be Darth Logicus, a one world global government under Darth Logicus, supreme ruler of the federal peoples of Earth, will maximize the responsibility granted to them, thus recognizing their inherent dignity. And that is good. Tenet 4, life's fulfillment emerges from individual participation in the service of human ideals. My prescription based on this, we ought to occasionally beat random citizens to death with hammers, thereby reinforcing the value of the preciousness of human life, forcibly transmitting wonder and awe via the hammer, and that is good. Tenet 5, humans are social by nature and find meaning in relationships.
He hasn't got a ghost of a chance, Banner. He hasn't got a ghost at all.
Who believe in violent conflict resolution, thereby making sure we eliminate violent conflict. We call this the paradox of violent conflict. and that is good. Last, working to benefit society maximizes individual happiness. So the descriptor here is right now millions suffer from inequality. My prescription.
Good to see you, LJ. Good to see you, man. You'll be getting a spanner.
All these prescriptions using Christian ethics. Craig's unable to refute any of them using his own standard. That standard is humanism based on this manifesto. Again, do you see the problem? Unless he just makes it up as he goes, which is what he's going to do. And that's why Christian ethics are superior, thus destroying the entire ideology of secular humanism. If Craig moves away from this document, he's admitting defeat, something he knows a lot about. The advantages of Christian ethics is that it can provide a standard which is unchanging for what people ought to do, not just descriptions of what they are doing. Craig's moral framework necessarily must change by its own admission, which is why society hasn't adopted it and won't adopt it. They don't know what it will be in another 20 years, 15 years, 200 years. They have no idea. There are now 4 versions because I wrote one more. Should we have, I don't know, 5,000, Craig, 10,000? I don't know. The Humanist Manifesto can be interpreted any way you want. I just demonstrated that by interpreting it how I wanted to, and can't even be used to refute bad prescriptions given by bad people like Andrew Wilson based on the Humanist Manifesto itself. So what are we even doing here? My society has produced obvious good results on society for millennia, including the fact that all societies which currently are considered the best are using my moral framework and not his. None, as in not one, as in 0 societies on earth are run off the Humanist Manifesto. If Craig claims the manifesto itself isn't necessary to humanism or its doctrines, then again, what the hell is humanism? And how do we know what it is? How do we know what we're supposed to do with it? If we don't even have a document which describes it, then how can we understand how it works? If Craig claims we can use things outside the manifesto, he also, again, loses unless he can describe how that is humanism and how my prescriptions are not humanism, which is clearly defined with this manifesto I've been talking about. Also, I just want to finish with this. Craig doesn't know what a straw man is. I think first thing out of his mouth is going to be, Andrew straw manning me, okay? Which he also doesn't understand what ad hom, he doesn't understand what a lot of these terms mean. I'm giving a position based on prescriptions, so I can't actually be straw manning Craig, because these are my views. They're not your views. He'll say I'm straw manning humanism, but I'm literally reading line by line.
Flats, he hasn't got any grounds to stand on. He's got no, he himself is the arbiter of morals. Yeah, that's it. That's it. That's not morals. That's not morals. Let's do what thou wilt.
Claims are humanist claims. This is why humanism is the flat earth of ethical systems. And that's what Craig is. You're a moral flat earther.
We'll kick it over to Craig for his 10-minute opening statement as well. Thanks very much, Craig. The floor is all yours.
Hello. I thank Andrew for his presentation and reasons why Christianity is better for society.
Well nervous. Well nervous.
So I guess I'll just go to my presentation and explain why secular humanism is better for society. Maybe Andrew forgot what the debate was about. I'm not sure. Okay, so who am I? I'm Craig McNeil. I run the YouTube channel, FTFE, where I do debate the dumbest people on the planet, people that think the earth is flat and stuff like that. But today I'm here to debate why secular humanism...
Oh, you mean like us, Craig? You mean like us? You silly man. Silly man.
I think you missed the title of the debate there. Okay. Sorry, 1 second. Just deleted my script. Bear with me.
Babe.
All right. What is secular humanism? Secular humanism is a philosophical stance that values the capacity of individuals to act with autonomy and emphasizes critical thinking and evidence-based reasoning. It prioritizes human welfare over objective knowledge over religious dogma or superstition. Secular humanism centers on upholding reason, ethics, and justice as foundations for a humane society. It advocates for human rights, social equality, and the continuous search for truth through scientific and rational inquiry. Secular humanism is all about cutting down the hurt and boosting the happy. It's a no-brainer. Less suffering, more thriving. This principle shows up in the nitty-gritty stuff like public health policies and safety rules that actually work for us, not against us. Forget the days of wiping out chunks of Europe in the crusade.
Like Graham, good to see you, man. Good to see you.
It's not about making choices that help. It's about making choices that help everyone, proving that we can do a lot of good without any kind of holy wars. Secular humanism sticks to reason and real-world proof to keep its ethics sharp. We're not about bending the rules to fit old-timey text or mystical claims from a sky daddy as the world changes. Thanks to tech upgrades and new social twists, we update our moral code too. It's about evolving with the times, not getting stuck in scriptural mud.
Exactly by that.
Secular humanism lays the groundwork for a society where common sense and fairness call the shots. It's all about using solid evidence and treating everyone equally to build a place where everyone gets to do what they need to thrive. This way, we all have a shot at living our best lives. Secular humanism taps into what we all feel deep down, things like empathy and compassion that cross all borders, instead of relying on the whims of deities with their own dodgy moral compasses. It builds ethics on the real shared experiences of all humans and the things we go through. This keeps things fair and focused on what actually improves our lives, helping guide smart, kind decisions no matter where in the world you are. It's about playing by the rules that make sense for everyone, not just the heavenly few. Secular humanism relies on scientific evidence and rational debate, driving major advancements in civil rights, healthcare, and education. It champions facts over fiction, leading to real-world solutions that improve lives. Christianity often lets ancient texts block modern scientific progress, from stifling stem cell research to opposing gender equality. It's held us back more often than not, clinging to outdated beliefs that don't match today's realities.
No, he's not like godlike. He's not.
Secular humanism secular humanism adapts to new moral challenges and societal shifts, always looking to refine and improve ethical standards based on human needs and new information. Whereas Christianity is stuck in the past, often finding itself on the wrong side of history with rigid doctrines that clash with modern values of fairness and justice. Whether it's LGBTQ rights or women's rights, the inflexibility leads to exclusion and harm.
No.
Secular humanism embraces everyone, no matter their religion, gender, sexuality, or race. It's built on the idea that ethics and rights are universal,
That doesn't make it
everyone's
right.
included, and everybody matters. Christianity too often divides and discriminates under the guise of divine law, leading to social fragmentation, whether it's condemning non-believers or marginalizing communities. It's more about in-groups and out-groups than universal brotherhood. Now, I'm going to debunk some of Andrew's more outlandish claims about secular humanism, starting with his peculiar fixation on necrophilia. I don't know why he brings that up so often. Let's set the record straight. Secular humanism puts a premium on consent and continued consent, because there are two parts to consent. Crucial elements that are obviously absent when one party is deceased. Unlike some ancient doctrines that might overlook such nuances, our ethical framework ensures respect for both the living and the dead, advocating for laws that uphold dignity for all. Moving on to intriguing cultural practices that Andrew likes to also bring up. Andrew tends to highlight a particular tribe with rituals that are less than conventional. Secular humanism doesn't give a free pass to every tradition out there. We critically assess their impact based on real harm, consent, and continued consent. We respect cultural diversity, but we stand firmly against practices that harm or exploit, especially under the guise of tradition. We believe in evolving traditions that promote human rights and dignity, not those that trap people in harmful cycles. And about that favorite narrative of Andrew's, that secular humanism supposedly opens the door to moral relativism. Here's the truth. Our moral framework is solidly anchored in the observable impacts of actions on real people, promoting behaviors that enhance well-being and reduce suffering. We rely on reason and evidence to guide us, not fleeting feelings or ancient edicts. We find deep meaning in human connections and logical thinking, striving for a society that values real outcomes over theoretical purity. Andrew, while you might be content to debate the ethics of bygone eras, we secular humanists are busy applying rational, thoughtful decisions to improve real lives today. So while some are still praising the fine points of medieval texts, we're ensuring that everyone right here and right now gets a fair shot at a dignified life, underpinned by principles of consent and continued consent. No divine intervention needed, just a commitment to common sense and humanity. Now, The ethical failings of Christianity through both historical and modern lenses is an interesting thing. Historically, Christianity has found itself on the wrong side of morality. Crusades, inquisitions, where violence was not only justified, but glorified as a divine mandate. Then there's the endorsement of slavery and colonialism, where scripture was twisted to just.
So I just want to point out again quickly, sponsored by Atheists for Liberty. Ridiculous.
Effects in discrimination against LGBTQ individuals and the suppression of women's rights, often justified by some ancient texts. These are
American Upgrade, good to see you, bro.
That affect real lives, fueled by policies and attitudes steeped in outdated belief. And divine command theory, well, God said it, so I believe it, and that settles it, really? Because basing your moral compass on what you think a deity commanded millennia ago is like letting your drunk uncle navigate your road trip. Both are dangerous.
Yes, it's live, kind of there. Why do you think I had to schedule it? I said that a few days ago. It's like I'm doing it live.
Well, in contrast, secular humanism doesn't just get its ethics from celestial whispers or sacred texts written before we figured out the Earth orbits the sun.
That's why I'm not pausing it and I'm muting it when I talk.
Works that address real-world issues.
Because if I pause it, I'm going to have to catch up, you know what I mean?
Dress codes and bedroom activities. So while Christianity clings to its ancient script, secular humanism is busy solving modern puzzles, moving forward, not backward, building a society based on equality and science, not superstition and suppression. It's time we left the biblical ethics in the past where they belong and focus on building a fairer world for everyone. Because let's face it, if your moral system has more plot holes than a bad soap opera, maybe it's time for a rewrite. Secular humanism isn't just good on paper, it's spectacular in practice. When we base our ethical standards on reason and human well-being, rather than ancient scriptures, we end up with policies that genuinely improve lives. This isn't about lofty ideals, it's about real benefits like better healthcare, advanced education, and robust welfare systems that actually work because they're built on evidence and not faith. Here's something Andrew might find hard to swallow. The happiest countries in the world are overwhelmingly secular. Look at global happiness indices. Nations that embrace secular governance aren't just a little happier, they're leading the charts. These countries have higher standards of living, more inclusive laws, and you guessed it, they're pushing the envelope in science and technology while respecting individual freedoms. Why does this matter? Because in secular societies, health and welfare are not afterthoughts, they're priorities. We see significantly better public health outcomes when policies are shaped by science, not superstition. Lower rates of poverty, higher life expectancy, and greater social equality. These aren't coincidences, they're the results of choosing humanism over dogmatism. So while Andrew and his followers might yearn for the good old days of divine rule, the rest of us are enjoying the fruits of society that values all its members and bases its decisions on logic and love, not fear and control. In the modern world, secular humanism isn't just a better moral choice, it's the blueprint for a thriving, progressive society. Let's remember what's at stake. We're not just debating ideologies, we're discussing the blueprint for future. Secular humanism offers us a path forward that no longer serves us in, that shackles us from ancient texts and divine decrees that no longer serve us in the modern interconnected world. We have a chance to build a fairer world, one where policies are not dictated by religious bias, but crafted from compassion and ethical evidence. A world where every individual is valued, where their rights are protected, not because a deity says so, but because our common humanity demands it. Let's choose a future where our children are taught to think critically, to respect science, and to care deeply about the welfare of others. Let's embrace secular humanism, not just because it offers better ethics, but because it leads to a better lives, happier and healthier and more harmonious. So Andrew, I challenge you to look beyond the dogmas of the past and join us in shaping a more rational, just and humane world. The future doesn't belong to ancient texts or celestial overseers, it belongs to all of us. All of us here today, ready to make a difference with every decision we make, grounded in reason and empathy. And James, thank you for bringing me here for my first ever in-person debate. And thank you, Andrew, for being my opponent.
No problem at all.
Alan, good to see you, bro.
I appreciate those openings, gentlemen. We'll kick it into the 60-minute open dialogue. The floor is all yours.
Yeah, so if you don't mind if I ask a quick question. Do you have a copy of Humanism 3?
No.
You know, you do follow Humanism 3?
It's a framework, yes.
Okay, it is your framework.
Yeah.
Can you, using the document of Humanism 3, debunk a single prescriptive statement that I make?
Well, your prescriptive statements were just something you made up based on your personal interpretations of it. And,
so secular Humanism 3.
Yeah, I was in the middle of talking, Andrew.
So Humanism 3.
If you want to calm down when I'm talking, that'd be great. Thank you. Yeah, what you did was you said, I think this is what the manifesto says, so therefore I'm going to interpret it this way and bring my own prescriptions. Well, Andrew, your prescriptions are your prescriptions, And that is literally a straw man because it is your own interpretation of
he said he'd call straw man
secular humanism, which doesn't align with what everyone else thinks secular humanism is. You claim I don't know what an ad hominem things are. Trust me, I debate flat earthers all the time. That's
exactly.
I don't have to argue against your personal prescriptions. We can just talk about what secular humanism is better for society. None of the things that you mentioned are about society. They're just what you don't like about secular humanism. What I'm just going to ask you is very simple.
Humanism.
What I'm going to ask you, Andrew, is very simple.
How long are you going to filibuster, dude?
I was literally about to ask a question. If you can calm down and let me finish my sentence, then you can respond.
Craig,
right. What
Craig,
I am going to ask you
chill
is...
out, Craig. Stop spurging, Craig.
What I'm going to ask you, Andrew...
Craig.
I'm like 3 words
Stop
away from the end.
spurging, Craig. Stop spurging. Calm
are you
down.
okay?
Do you need a moment? We'll get to the question. Go ahead, Craig.
Do you need a moment, Andrew? It's
Calm
okay.
down, Craig.
If you need a moment to take a breath, that's
Go ahead,
absolutely fine. Yeah.
Craig, this is a great time to ask the question.
What I'm going to ask you, Andrew, is because
Craig.
you failed to do that in your opening, could you explain to us why Christianity is better for society?
Yeah.
Instead of just attacking your own views.
So let's make this really simple, right? So Craig says here, he says, well, that's your interpretation of the Humanist Manifesto. You see the problem? Yeah, everybody's going to have an interpretation of the Humanist Manifesto. Thus, if everybody has an interpretation of the Humanist Manifesto, including me, we can make prescriptions based on it, Craig. So now I'm making prescriptions based on the Humanist Manifesto for what? Society. Okay, you are asking about Christianity. I told you that Christian ethics are better for society because I can refute the prescriptions made in the Humanist Manifesto that I just made in the Humanist Manifesto. You, Craig, cannot refute a single prescription I made off a single tenet in the Humanist Manifesto using your own manifesto. Do you understand that?
Yes, Andrew, I completely understand
so
that.
Doesn't that have a society entailment, a societal entailment, Craig?
Would you like me to answer the question, or are you just going to talk when I talk?
Can't wait. Go ahead.
Do you need a minute to calm down? It's fine. We can take 2 minutes, and you can. It's fine.
Yeah, get to the answer, please.
Yeah. So again, what you haven't done is explain why Christianity is better. You just said, I think it's better because I don't like secular humanism. That's not explaining why Christianity, what ethics, what morals about Christianity make it better for society. What you've done is simply attack secular humanism. You haven't given me a single reason why Christianity specifically is better. What you've said is Christianity is better because I don't like these things about secular humanism, and I want you to tell me why these things about secular humanism is bad. But Andrew, you aren't here to attack secular humanism. You're here to defend Christianity. So you failed to do it in your intro. So can you just give me a single reason specifically without attacking secular humanism? Because that's what flat earthers do. You're acting like a flat earther. Flat earthers attack the globe instead of saying why.
He had to do it, didn't he? He had to bring flat earth into it.
Could you give me a reason why Christianity is the thing that is better for society? Tell me what ethics, what morals.
Yeah, because when I make prescriptions based on a Humanist Manifesto, I can debunk those prescriptions using Christian ethics. You can't debunk those prescriptions using the Humanist Manifesto.
Well, go on then. Debunk
That's
them.
why it's better. Okay, here, I'll show you. Let's give you an example. If we can go through these, we can get through
that'd be wonderful, yeah, because what I would like to hear is reasons why Christianity is better, not reasons why you dislike secular humanism. This isn't about feelings, this is about reasons.
Let's do this, perhaps, so that we're not talking past each other. Are you willing to steel man my argument here? Can you steel man it?
Well, your argument would be based on your particular version of Christianity, which is which again?
Can you steel man my argument, Craig?
Which argument?
The one I just made, Craig.
Your argument is you don't like secular humanism. These are the things I don't like about secular humanism. So I'm gonna say secular humanism can do these things, and that means that secular humanism is bad. That's what you said, Andrew. You have given me a list of things that you think you can prescribe.
He's probably in touch with McToon somehow, moment.
Incorrect.
Uh-huh.
Right. So therefore, you are saying, well, these are prescriptions that I think I can give based on secular humanism.
Why do I think Christianity is better? What's my argument? Christianity.
You haven't said yet. You've said what you've said, Andrew, is that
Christianity
can debunk these things, but you haven't explained how it can debunk them.
Okay, let's
give me specifics related to Christianity.
Let's do it.
Debunk the things about secular humanism you don't like.
Because
so far you've given me no reasons why Christianity is better.
Greg, I'll do it. The prescription for one Do you agree that the first tenet for secular humanism is knowledge of the world is derived by observation, experimentation, and rational analysis?
That's what I said. And if we go back to the slide, which you didn't present any.
Why do I need to present a slide?
Well, it's because we've got a big thing up there to present slides, and I thought it'd be nice to.
I have a slideshow. So anyway,
yeah, because one of us prepares for the arguments, the other one,
What an idiot!
I didn't prepare for the arguments because I didn't have a slideshow.
Yeah, Andrew, you've done a million debates like this. This is my second. I thought I'd do some research and prepare, and give something for the audience to look at. But
can we get back to this? So, do you agree? Yes or no? Tenet 1, knowledge.
I did say yes. Maybe you have problems hearing, but carry on.
Greg, you need to calm down, bro.
Oh, I'm fine. I'm
calm down.
What I'm doing, Andrew, is I'm waiting for your argument, but
I just want to make sure that we're clear.
Yeah, we are clear.
Okay,
you haven't yet given an argument for your position.
Okay, so my prescription to that, Craig, is
moderator needs to shut him up.
For all women must be forcibly bred, and experiments must be conducted on them to maximize fertility and thereby maximize human flourishing because science, and that is good. Now, Craig, that's what I read from Tenet 1, right? Can you use any of the tenets in secular, the Humanist Manifesto 3, to debunk that prescription or tell me why that prescription's bad?
So still no reasons why Christianity is better. That's what I'm asking here. What you're saying is explain why this is good.
Because
I've yet to hear
okay, let me explain.
You said you can debunk that using Christianity.
Let him explain, Craig.
So under Christian ethics, forcibly locking up women and doing horrible things to them would be a violation of God's law. It'd be a violation of Jesus Christ's law to man. So because of that, Christians would say, no, you can't lock women up and forcibly breed and experiment on them. You're not allowed to do that, Craig. Now, Craig, I just gave you a demonstration of how Christianity would debunk this. Now, Craig, can you use the Humanist Manifesto to do it? Great.
Absolutely.
Let's do it.
Well, so your prescription is a straw man of secular humanism. It's all right. I can explain why. Because secular humanism doesn't say that there's a low birth rate.
He said it. He said it at the start.
There's a low birth rate. Read the tenet again for me.
It says knowledge in the world is derived by observation, experiment, and rational analysis.
And then what was your prescription?
My prescription, based on my interpretation of this, is that the birth rate is low, therefore all women must be forcibly bred. Experiments must be conducted on them to maximize fertility and therefore maximize human flourishing because science, and that is good.
So you're saying that secular humanism makes a low birth rate?
No, I'm saying that the interpretation here prescriptively on what I'm reading is that this prescription would not in any way counter that tenet.
Well, the fact that there's low birth rates isn't a bad thing. It's not low birth rates, it's lower birth rates.
Is locking women up and breeding them a bad
absolutely
thing?
not. We wouldn't.
That's not a bad thing, or it is a bad thing?
When I'm in the middle of a sentence explaining something, that's when you be quiet and listen. Maybe I know
We'll
you're
take
used
your
to
own advice.
I know. I'm way out of line, Craig. I know.
Yeah, but if you let me finish my thoughts, it
okay.
would be helpful. If I can finish what I'm saying.
Okay, go ahead.
So secular humanism is about harm, and locking people up and doing experiments on them is causing harm, and they wouldn't do that. A lower birth rate doesn't necessarily mean that things are bad. It just means that there is less people than having lots of people. Now, an extremely large birth rate has many problems. So we can look at what large birth rates cause: poverty, broken families, people being homeless, lots of things like that. So there's no reason secular humanism would, if there is a low birth rate, go and then lock people up and experiment on them, because that is not necessarily a bad thing. And having a slightly lower birth rate can actually help humans flourish. As a secular humanist, we're all about human flourishing, and having a slightly lower birth rate will actually help because it allows better standards of living, less poverty, less problems, less children being abandoned, less family and societal problems from having too many people around. So you have come up with your prescription, which is a prescription I don't agree with. So I don't have to accept your prescription.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay, so
if I don't have to accept your prescription,
Sure.
I don't even have to debunk it. That is your prescription.
Yeah.
And it's not what any secular humanism would say. In fact, that prescription is a logical impossibility based in secular humanism because it includes doing harm. And secular humanists would not do something that includes harm. So Andrew, whether you realize it or not, and whether your audience realizes it or not, that prescription that you have come from, your interpretation is a straw man of secular humanism.
a prescription's a straw man?
Your prescription is, because your prescription is based on the interpretation that no secular humanism.
Hey, Skep, good to see you, bro.
Impossibility that secular
logical
humanists would
impossibility.
lock people up and do experiments on them. So to think that a humanist manifesto could include that as a prescription means that you have no clue what secular humanism is.
Okay,
and that's fine if you
Craig,
don't know what secular
Craig,
humanism
I've just
is.
let you ramble for forever, right?
But so you said,
Craig, calm down now.
okay, carry on with your point. Sorry, I've
So,
had the red.
Here we
I
go.
apologize.
Knowledge of the world is derived by observation, experimentation, rational
Yes.
analysis. This is a descriptive claim, correct?
Mhm.
Okay. Do we make prescriptive claims off of descriptive claims?
If you want.
If you want. So if I were a humanist and I read that, whose interpretation would it be up to as to how it was applied or what the
Well,
prescription
what
was?
secular
Stop. Hang on.
humanist- Oh, you
Hang on,
asked me a question,
Craig.
right?
Oh, was I done? Calm down.
You asked the question.
What I'm asking you specifically is, if it is the case that the person reading it is going to be the person who makes the prescription, okay, then if I make a prescription here and it's not debunked by any of the rest of the Humanist Manifesto, and you're going to some external source, in your case, well, you see, there's a logical impossibility because secular humanists wouldn't do that. That doesn't tell us shit, Craig. I'm giving you a prescription based on your first tenet.
It's not
Hang
that-
on, stop. Based on your very first tenet. I need you to use the actual manifesto itself to tell me how it conflicts with that prescription. What you're doing is you're saying, I don't like that prescription. That's great. Nobody gives a shit what you like. Show me in the Humanist Manifesto where it is that it actually debunks this prescription or says this prescription's wrong or says this prescription isn't humanist. What I'm claiming is that that is humanism.
Okay.
That is a humanist doctrine. You need to show me within the Humanist Manifesto how it's not.
I already did that by explaining that the Humanist Manifesto doesn't say harm. It is about not doing harm. And again, Andrew, you are going back to your own interpretation. Now, secular humanism doesn't have one person's interpretation to take into account. Secular humanism is based on a collective, these shared experiences. We don't take the Bible. We don't take one person.
We need you in the audience to remain quiet, please.
We don't take one person's interpretation and
not gonna
say
help
that's
them
what we're
anyway.
going to stick to. Okay, we don't go, this is the thing that we say because this person wrote this and that is what we stick to. As
Suppose for a manifesto, Flat, you could just put easiness, you could just say it's a program. You know what I mean? Of public aims of what you're going to do.
Manifesto.
So what we would
I'm
do,
looking at
do you
is
want me
this
to answer the
collective
question or are you going to
manifesto.
jump in and let
How
not
long
let
are
me?
you going to take to answer the
Well,
question?
I let you talk
Craig?
for a while to
Yeah,
give the
but Craig,
question,
you
so
can't
let me answer.
filibuster the
Are
debate.
you afraid of me answering the question,
I
Andrew?
just want you to actually
I'm trying
use
to,
the
Andrew, if you're
manifesto.
afraid of me answering the
Gentlemen,
question,
all right,
just say so.
gentlemen.
Just
Let me
use
pull
the
you apart.
manifesto.
If you're afraid
Craig.
of me answering the question, then that's
hold
fine.
on 1 second. Let me pull you apart just to reset here.
Wow.
Can
Wow. You actually did it.
Ask your question one more
Yeah,
time.
it's really simple. Okay. Yes, I agree. You guys all have collective experiences and you put them in a thing called the Humanist Manifesto, which you just agreed to. Using this Humanist Manifesto of your collective experiences, I gave a prescription. Can you also use that Human Manifesto to debunk that prescription? Tell me why that prescription's wrong using the manifesto itself. I think you can't. I think you can't do it, Craig, because it doesn't tell you shit. It doesn't tell you anything.
Once
So
again,
to go ahead, show me in the manifesto itself
Right.
where that prescription conflicts with humanism. Because I'm saying it's a greater form of humanism than your humanism.
Are you done?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, now take a deep breath and let me talk, okay? Good boy. Calm. Right. Once
What an
again,
idiot,
Human
man.
Manifesto says no harm. It's about not doing harm. It's about human flourishing. Okay. I'm not going to use the exact words because interpretations are a thing. But as secular humanists, we would get together and say, how do we deal with this thing? It's not a particular prescription of things that you have to do. It is an ethical framework. You would take the framework and you would say, how do we deal with this problem? You would get together as a society and using our shared experiences, empathy towards each other, the want to do less harm. How do we deal with this issue? Secular humanists do not do harm. That is the idea of secular humanism, to not do harm, to flourish. So I'm going to use the principles. I don't have to use the specific manifesto because I could just get into the Bible and ask how stoning people on the Sabbath because they went to work is.
Cheers, Skip. Cheers, Skip. It was Can't Fix Stupid's idea. He gave me the link in a messenger a few days ago, so I thought it'd be good to watch it live.
Society.
I'm not reviewing it. I think Flats wants to review it. I don't know. I'm just showing it.
engage with your personal interpretations of secular humanism, because personal interpretations don't matter. Collective decisions as a society is what matter. So you individually deciding this is the prescription of secular humanism is not how secular humanism works.
Perfect.
And what you've done is said, we have got a set of rules by God that we can set out by. We've got a normative authority to go to. But that normative authority also drowned the entirety of humanity because he didn't like what they were doing. To use a normative
Because he's in
authority
Egypt,
as a
yeah.
psychopathic
He's in
deity is a
Egypt.
very silly thing to do. We don't need a normative authority. We need collective experiences and how that will affect humans in the future.
Got it. So I just want to make sure I'll steel man.
Wait for the applause. Come on. Thank you.
Let's hear some real applause.
All right, guys, come on.
All right.
My
we'll-
turn. Come
we'll
on,
return
louder.
to- all right. We'll return,
Hey.
we'll return to the debate.
You
Go ahead,
dick.
Andrew.
All right.
Now.
I
You
just wanted
dick.
to move back to this very quickly. I just want to make sure that I steel man your position in the best faith. I
You're up
possibly
too,
can.
Flats. You're up too, man.
Okay, that's why I'm trying again. So let's say
You're very trying, yes.
when you say it's the collective experience of us that matters,
Yes.
and the interpretation of this framework.
It's the collective experiences
Yeah.
and how that relates to the framework.
Okay. In the collective experience of these people utilizing this framework, they would be able to utilize this framework to debunk that prescription, correct?
I just did.
You utilize collective experience to debunk my prescription.
Yeah, collective experience of people being locked up and kidnapped and experimented on being a shit thing to do. The collective experiences would say that humanity wouldn't do that.
Mike Jones, good to see you, bro. Good to see you. Good comment as well. Good comment.
Doesn't help people. There is no way that secular humanism would lock people up and experiment on them because that causes harm. Secular humanism does not cause harm. We would not find a solution to something that includes purposely causing people harm. So you are coming up with this prescription because you do not understand what secular humanism is.
I do understand.
You seem to think
Bro.
that secular humanism is anything.
When I
that
ask a
isn't
question,
Christianity.
please don't take 2 minutes, right? Just give a
Oh,
quick
I'm sorry.
answer.
If you struggle to, if you watch a lot of shorts, should I play like a video of like Subway Surfers as I talk at the same time? Is that going to help?
So anyway, back to this. The reason is because we can't get anywhere. If you filibuster on a single answer forever and ever and ever.
Again, if you've got a short attention span, Andrew, that's not my problem.
So the point is that if it is the case that it's just due to collective experience, using this as just a framework, what's to stop the collective experience from making prescriptions just like mine, based on whatever their collective experiences are?
It's a logical impossibility.
Stop.
You
Greg.
asked me the question.
Well, can I finish asking it?
Okay.
Okay. So anyway, what's to actually to stop the collective from coming up with? Well, for one thing, they can change the manifesto itself, right? It's already been changed multiple times.
So is the Bible multiple times.
Nobody's disputing that. But what I'm saying is that inside of this, if you have a collection of people who say, for instance, to, I don't know, lock up all children, right? Prescriptively, that's what humanists decide is going to help the most when it comes to knowledge of the world being derived by observation, experimentation, and rational analysis. They're using rational analysis to determine children need to be locked up until they get to a certain age. What inside of the Humanist Manifesto itself is demonstrating that that should not happen? What is it? What can you point to anything in it?
The reduction of harm. Andrew, you keep
Where,
coming
which
up-
is where?
You keep
Where
coming up-
is it?
Right.
Where
again,
is it?
I'm not going to use the exact words that are in it because
They're not in it.
Because
they're not in
Bible either,
it.
right? I'm not going to use the exact words. We're going to use what it represents, and what it represents is to not do harm. You keep coming up with things that are harmful, right? Let me get this through to you. Secular humanism will not do something that purposely causes harm. You keep saying
Who determines what harm is?
Can you let me talk?
Who
Thank
determines
you.
what harm is, Greg?
Collective experiences and empathy.
So if
Andrew.
collective experience says
But
this
they
isn't
don't.
harmful.
Collective experiences say that it is harmful, though. That is what collective.
But what if it
experience shows.
didn't, Craig?
But
What if the collective experience of these people
But they
says
do,
that's
Andrew.
not harmful?
But they do, Andrew.
But if they didn't, though?
Right. Well, in the same way, what if God said that you could do whatever
What
you
if he
want?
did? Answer my question.
Well, but collective experiences don't. It's a logical impossibility under the framework.
The unanswer of the
under
first
the framework-
question loses, Craig.
Under
Answer
the
my question.
Under the framework of secular humanism,
Uh-huh.
that is a logical impossibility to do. Right.
What is
I do not have
okay.
to answer things that will
Let's
never
start,
happen.
Let's start
right?
with what does logical impossibility mean?
It means that it's something that is
Hey, Most High. Yeah, but babe, nobody's. Yeah, but you. I thought you don't want to know. Hear it. That's why nobody's telling it.
It is something that would not come as a result of conclusions of what's happening. If you look at the overall, if you look at the overall conclusions of what secular humanism gives, and look at that, the outcome it would be.
My
a logical
question is, what does
and
logical
I'm trying to
impossibility
answer.
mean?
I'm trying to answer. It means that it is something that if you look at the overall conclusions of something and look at it logically, the outcome is an impossibility. If you look at all the conclusions of secular humanism, what it tries to promote, the logical impossibility of locking people up and causing harm comes from looking at those of the entirety of secular humanism. You keep coming up with questions of what if they locked people up?
Yeah,
what if they did
I just
that?
want to make sure we
It's
got
not
this right.
something that would happen in secular
Is
humanism.
Wolverine from the X-Men logically impossible?
Wolverine is from the X-Men, specifically the first.
No.
iteration
The
of the X-Men.
character, the Wolverine from the X-Men, the adamantium claws, the healing powers, is that logically impossible?
Using Copenhagen's interpretation of quantum mechanics, no.
No, it's not logically. So Wolverine is not logically impossible, right?
It could exist in another universe,
Got
as far
it.
as we know.
But what is logically
Oh,
impossible
my
is that a bunch of
goodness.
people can't get together and change what the meaning of harm is.
Well, again, but Andrew, you are missing the point of what collective experiences show us. We look at collective experiences throughout the world, and we can see what harm.
He doesn't make any point, Wazza. None.
But as humans, we know.
Yeah,
what
Craig,
harm
what if they change what the meaning of harm is, Craig?
You got 3 words out there, Andrew.
Can you answer the damn question, Craig?
I'm trying to, Andrew, and if you let me.
Got you, babe.
Oh, well, you see, the thing is that without answering
Yes.
the question never gets
I
answered,
am
and so we're
answering
never
the
going to actually
question.
answer
If
the
you
question
if you
because
let me-
answering the question is an unanswered question.
Yeah.
And what do they change the definition of harm, Craig?
Yeah, Andrew, I'm trying to let me answer the question. They won't change the definition.
Oh, they won't.
No.
But Wolverine's logically
Okay,
possible.
so
Unbelievable.
secular humanism looks at what
Unbelievable.
happens as experiences, and throughout humanity, we can know that locking people up and doing harm is a bad thing because it makes bad
Unbelievable.
things happen. It makes people unhappy. It causes harm. It makes society a worse
What
place.
about when it doesn't cause harm, like when we lock criminals up?
So the idea of locking criminals up, at least in the decent countries,
Does it reduce
is
harm,
to-
Craig?
Yes. When you
Yes. Wait. So you just saying
wait.
locking
No,
people
I'm
up,
trying to, Andrew.
locking
wait,
people up is going to
Andrew,
reduce harm. Well,
Andrew,
not
am I allowed
really,
to
right,
talk?
Craig?
Am I allowed to talk?
Well, Craig, you've
Andrew,
been
am
doing
I allowed
nothing
to
but
talk?
talking.
Andrew, am I allowed to talk?
Yes, Craig, you're allowed
Andrew,
to
am I allowed
talk.
to talk?
Yes.
Nobody can
Andrew,
stop you.
How long
You
are
just
you
keep
going to
talking.
Andrew, am I allowed to talk?
For how long at once, though?
Okay, so you are being a flat earther here.
Oh,
Oh
yeah,
my
you have to go
goodness.
What you're doing is you're not allowing the other person to talk and just laughing.
That's because you want to answer.
5th time he's brought up flat earth. This is not about flat earth.
You don't understand its answers, Andrew. Maybe because you're not a very intelligent person, but I'm not
One
sure.
day,
Oh my
Craig, I'll get to your
goodness.
level.
So
What?
would you like me to
That's
answer
at
any
home,
questions, or are you
Yes,
going to
I
let me
actually
answer
like the
man.
answers. And
What?
here's the thing: I'll make a deal.
At
with you.
home.
If you treat this in good faith and you actually answer my questions, I'll actually answer yours. But don't filibuster.
trying to.
Hang on. Don't filibuster and don't lie. Simple. Is it not the case that people change what the definition of harm is all the time? And by necessity, they have to do that, Greg, right? You have to change what the definition of harm is. So
No,
when you
thank
say,
you.
Andrew, it's logically impossible that people would change the definition of harm so that you could lock women up to do X,
That's right.
Y, Z to them. That's not actually logically impossible, is it?
Under the tenets of secular humanism, yes, it is.
Then show me where.
Secular humanism is about not doing harm and
No,
making
show me
things
where.
unhappy.
Show me where
Again,
in the humanist document it conflicts with this, since it says we can change our definition of what harm is anytime we want.
But the definition of harm is what it is. We know what harm is.
No, we don't know what harm is.
Yes, we do. Our collective experiences show us. Right, if we make people unhappy, if we make people hurt, we make them die, we make them injured, that is harm. And as society, we can get together and say, well, we don't want those bad things to happen. What makes people depressed?
Yeah, but
what makes people, Andrew,
You
I
can
am in
do
the middle
all
of
those
answering
things,
your question.
and it can reduce harm too.
Right.
Right?
Andrew, I will answer your question, but you might need to let me get there.
Go ahead,
To
Craig.
set
Go
my
ahead. Go,
set my stage,
go ahead.
right?
Craig, calm down.
The problem is that you do not want to hear the answers. You just want your
Craig,
script.
stop
to be-
talking.
I'm not going to
Just
stick
get
to
the
your
answer.
script.
Get to the answer. Go.
Right. Do not talk. Let me answer.
No, he hasn't, Mojo.
Because
At
I've let
all.
you yap for ages. Good boy. Right.
You're the yapper.
So, doing harm.
The
is-
headline's
everyone
getting
knows
for
what harm
that.
is.
Aye,
Everyone
aye,
knows that harm
No,
makes-
that's what's in question.
See, here we go. I let.
That's literally what's in question is whether or not
I'm
everyone
trying
knows
to
what harm
lay
is.
I'm trying to lay the foundation for my answer. If you let me get more than 3 or 4 words out, a few sentences at a time, Andrew, then
Well,
this
get
thing
on
will
with
happen.
it
But
instead of
you
saying
want to
this.
overtalk me.
Give you
Right?
a chance, Craig. Go ahead. 30 seconds.
Obfuscating or what?
Thank you. Right. So as a collective, we can get
You
together.
annoys
And say,
me,
what
man.
makes you unhappy? What makes you hurt? What stops you from advancing as a human? And that is harm. We can get a bunch of injured people together and say, how did that happen? This is harm. How do we stop these things? This is harm. What makes you unhappy? This is harm. And we can look at what
Yes,
makes that
Dylan.
happen. You are
Yes.
trying to come up with a situation where harm can just be changed, and we can make harm not
Definitely,
being
Barnum.
having harm. But that's not what secular humanism does, because as a society, as a collective as individuals, we would come up with to not do that, to make everyone
No,
happy.
baby,
People aren't
doesn't.
going to be happy if we do that.
Kick it
Secular
back to
humanism
Andrew.
wants people being happy.
Okay, then Craig, I just have a simple question for you. When it comes to child transition surgery, right? We have a split on whether or not that's harmful. Who should I side with? Who should I side with?
The position of that is something that I wouldn't want to get
Sorry,
into.
Buzzer.
because, am I allowed to get my thoughts out?
What about harm?
Yeah.
My harm.
I didn't say I wasn't going to. I would say it's something I wouldn't want to. But again, I'm not allowed to get my words out here. Right. So as a collective society, we would get together and see what happens. And that is going through changes at the moment. Personally, I don't agree with that. Right. And the current position.
Derek, I just call him Most High. Just Most High, that's what I say.
Something that causes harm. Right. That is the position that I personally hold when I look at the evidence and what other secular humanists are saying, is that allowing children to transition causes harm, because children are not at a place where they are able to make that decision. Their brain is not fully developed.
Causes harm
and
even if it's an
especially with,
adult.
we look at neurodivergents, neurodivergents actually have a much higher percentage of wanting to transition and things like that. And that could be an effect of them being neurodivergent. So we have to look at individual cases, but personally, children in transition, because they are not ready to make that decision, their brains aren't fully developed until they're like the age of 25. So
Probably.
letting children do that before they have the ability to is in itself causing harm.
So then what's going on here is, just so you understand, I just demonstrated something very important to you. You said we know what harm is.
Yes.
Our collective experience demonstrates what harm is. Then I ask you a simple question. There's two different collections of people right now. One who believes that this is very harmful, and one, like you, who believes it's not very harmful.
And which one of those is secular humanists?
Which one of those? Well, humanists themselves disagree.
Well,
Matt Dillahunty, who's a humanist, for instance, is right as we speak, probably sucking lady balls, right? Like that's actually true. So
Matt
hang on,
Dillahunty
hang on, stop.
Matt
Hey,
Dillahunty isn't here, though.
stop, bro. It's my
Matt-
turn, my turn,
yeah.
bro. My turn. Calm down.
I'm
Calm
not
down,
Matt
bro.
Dillahunty.
Calm down. It's my
I'm
turn.
not Matt Dillahunty.
Calm down.
Right?
I didn't say you were.
I'm not going to run away from a debate.
I didn't
because
say you
make some
were. I didn't
insulting
tell you to
things,
run.
okay?
I didn't tell you anything. Calm down.
Right.
So anyway, back to where we were.
And then why'd you have to bring that up?
He's a humanist. You're a humanist. Clearly, you fucking disagree about this.
Does Matt,
Stop, bro.
Just ask a quick question. Does he say specifically that
Craig,
he thinks children should transition?
Craig, calm down.
I'm just asking a question.
Craig,
Is that
calm down.
what he says?
Yes, but anyway, calm down.
I don't think that's what Matt says.
Humanists themselves. Okay? Humanists themselves disagree.
Which
They
ones?
disagree. Stop, bro. Would you chill out for 2 seconds? They themselves disagree on even what a man is. They disagree on the prescriptions for children.
No, they don't.
Right.
Yes, they do. And they disagree about all of these things within the very same framework you're talking about. The thing is like, that's fine. You can grant that humanists can disagree. As the peanut gallery was telling you, you can make the same criticism about the Bible. Theologically, people disagree all the time. Totally fair argument. What's not a fair argument is for you to say that it's logically impossible for us to redetermine what harm is under humanism. Of course we can redetermine what harm is under humanism. Why couldn't we? Why?
Because their collective experiences as humanity show us what harm is. And if we look at what has happened in the past with humanity, and we try to change it to go back to when it was harmed, that would go against what secular humanism is. But to be clear, all secular, you are just lumping all kind of LGBTQ stuff as secular humanists. That's not just secular humanists that hold those positions. So you can be someone that
was
is
just a demonstration.
LGBTQ and not be a secular humanist. So let's not
demonstrating
mix
something,
those two
not
up,
making it
okay?
about LGBTQ. I'm demonstrating that within this worldview, there's disagreement within it. That's fine, right? I'm not making that as a criticism.
But just to be clear, that's not a secular humanist view, though. That's just a human view.
Craig, I'm not making that the critique.
But you just did, though, Andrew.
No,
you made that
no,
critique
the
in front of all
critique-
these people.
the
Why are you lying?
critique-
You
the
made that critique
that
and
I
then
made was about harm, the principle of harm. I'm giving you an analogy to the principle of harm and saying, even if you say it's logically impossible for us to change what harm is based on collective human experience. That can't be true because even we all right now share experiences and disagree about what is harmful based on those experiences. When you say that that's logically impossible, I need that actually demonstrated, Craig. That's what I'm saying to you.
Humanity demonstrates that, Andrew.
How?
Because of what has happened to humanity throughout history, right? That is what lets us decide what is harm. Let's look at the last 200 years and the amount of harm that has happened, the amount of wars that have happened, the amount of bad things that have happened. We can look back at the past 200 years and go, well, what about that has caused harm? And then we can look to the future to say, well, how can we stop that happening? And if we look at the suffering and the unhappiness and the death and destruction that has come from all the bad things, that a lot of it is because of holy wars and fighting over whatever my particular God says. And we can say, well, how can we make the harm from that not happen? And all we have to do is look at what has happened throughout history and how that affects humanity
this is a great
to
example,
get to the
Craig.
decision.
So,
okay?
So let's take a look here. When you say war is very harmful, right? At the same time, you also say population reduction is actually probably pretty good.
I didn't say population reduction. Let's
Well,
be
okay.
clear. I said
Low
a lower
population.
birth. I said a slightly lower birth rate is not a bad thing.
Slightly
A
lower
slightly lower
birth
birth rate still increases
The
population.
birth rate is going to go down if more men are dead, right, Craig?
Yeah, because war's
Okay,
bad.
great. So since we've established that, if I say I think that actually these wars cause less harm to society because, well, it got the population down, and that actually is good for us long term. I have now made an argument for how I've reduced harm. Craig, if you disagree with that harm principle, right? We both disagree
That's
with
not
it.
what I
Would
said,
you
though.
chill out for a second? If we both disagree with that harm principle, right? Our collective experiences can come to wildly different conclusions. If that's the case, I need you to have something I can default to look at, which would descriptively tell me why it is my harm principle or what I consider harm to be is wrong. But I have this thing called the Bible and church authority. You have a humanist manifesto to answer those kinds of questions. Where in the humanist manifesto can I find out that if I want to, I don't know, lock all the women up and breed them, that's actually morally wrong? Okay, Craig, where?
So you are misunderstanding what the manifesto is for. The manifesto is a guideline. And then based on that guideline, people will get together and make decisions. Nobody is going to make a single decision that everybody then follows, like in your screwed up version of the world, where you can refer to a magic sky daddy as the absolute normative authority. It's ridiculous.
Instead of our Earth Daddy?
Right,
Instead of your Earth Daddy? Oh, I can't believe God did that.
You notice how I let you talk, Andrew. You notice how I let you talk.
That's bloody offensive, Craig. Sky Daddy. Piss off.
Normative authority. We don't need a one set of particular rules. What we need is a framework that we can get together and discuss to assess what is going to happen. We don't need a one particular person or one person's interpretation or one divine commandment to follow. We
don't need a normative authority?
No, we don't. Why would we?
Well, I don't understand. When you have a collective of people who decide based on your manifesto and they're interpreting it to give you prescriptions, what do you call
exactly
that?
Not a normative authority because
What is it?
It's not.
What is it?
It is a framework that you would get together and discuss.
No, not the framework. I'm not saying that the framework is your normative authority. Like you said,
You know what I mean, bud?
Yeah.
All the people who get together to decide the prescriptions based on the framework would be referred to as a normative.
No, the normative authority is a single thing, right? Not a collection of people.
Do you know what a normative authority even is, Craig?
Give me your definition of it. Then.
No, Craig, I'm not going to give you your definition for normative authority. What is it?
It's a single prescription for something coming from a particular set of rules.
Well, go toilet, guys.
Look it up real quick, Craig.
Oh,
I'm going to stop. I'll stop.
Right, tell me if I'm wrong.
Pull up normative authority.
Right. Yeah. Tell me if I'm wrong.
So normative, philosophically, right? It's like an ought claim, right? What we ought to do.
Yeah.
If you have a normative authority, what is that doing? It's an authority expressing what you should be doing. So in the church, right, we would be referring to our ecclesiastical authority as our normative authority, meaning here's our framework, here's our church framework. This is our normative authority telling us what we ought to do. Same thing with the Bible, a normative authority telling us what we ought to do. If you have a bunch of people who get together and they make prescriptions based off of this manifesto that you're supposed to follow, those would be called what?
Okay. Right.
What would they be called, Craig?
I concede I'm wrong.
What with
Norman,
okay,
right,
got it.
okay.
So hang on. So hang on.
Right,
And by the way,
just
that's the first time ever. Congratulations, Greg.
I want to be clear.
Congratulations, Greg.
Right? I want to be clear. Right? This is only ever my second debate within this field, and I might not be completely up to date on all the vernacular and everything. So if I get certain words wrong and stuff, hey, I'm going to hold my hand up.
And I'm not going to hold it. I'm not going to hold that against you, dude.
Right? So
I'm not going to hold it against you. Go ahead.
The point I'm trying to make is, instead of going to like a single position, like the God says, right? Instead, what we do is we get together and we decide collectively based on what we feel is better to stop the harm. Okay? And
that's a normative authority.
Okay, right. I concede I was wrong on that point. Absolutely.
Yeah.
That is normative
so
authority,
my whole point
right?
here isn't to beat you up about being wrong in a debate. I'm wrong in debates all the time, just not in this one.
What I'm saying, right?
What I'm saying to you here, Craig, is just this. If you have to have a normative authority, people who get together who make prescriptions, right? What they're doing is they're using your framework. So in Christianity, we would do the same thing. We're going to use the framework of the Bible, the teachings of Jesus Christ, and then we're going to have a normative authority, an ecclesiastical structure, which helps interpret that framework so that we know what we should or shouldn't do. Now, this is the same exact thing you're doing. But the thing is I can use the framework, which is the Bible, to debunk the prescriptions that I've made against the manifesto. You can't do that with your manifesto. That's my point.
Right. Again, you're using the manifesto wrong.
Okay,
and I've explained why, and I do feel like we're just going round in circles.
No, this is actually important.
Right.
I would like to actually know how I'm using it wrong. Go ahead.
I'm trying to, because again, it's not a set of rules like the Bible, right? Like that's not set out the same way. It's not saying this is exactly what you need to do, right? It is something that we will get together as a collective and say, right, and this is how we think will make a better society. And if something in society happens and we need to adjust that, we can adapt as society evolves. But the overall point of it is to reduce harm and increase flourishing. And you can't do that if you're doing something that is causing unhappiness, causing unhealthiness, causing injury, and feelings of not being happy. That is against what the secular humanism.
So this makes
manifesto
sense.
goes,
So
right?
what you're saying, and I'm just going to steel man again to make sure I'm not getting it wrong. I don't want you to say I'm straw manning it. What you're saying is that this framework, which is Humanist 3, the manifesto, this is a framework which is not giving prescriptions, but rather it's a framework which is used by a collective body to give prescriptions, right?
I wouldn't say prescriptions, more
what you ought to do.
No,
no.
What is better for helping society?
Well, should we do what's better?
It doesn't try to give rules. It doesn't try to say this is exactly what you should do.
I'm not saying it does.
Right? It just says if you want to have a healthier society, then this is the way to do it.
So it's being interpreted, right?
By a collective, yes.
Okay, got it.
Right.
So if a collective of Christians interpret this to say, under 1 here, that knowledge of the world is derived by observation, experiment, and rational analysis, if the prescription they come up with is the birth rate is low, therefore all women must be forcibly bred, why are they wrong?
Because they would have to show why lower birth rate is a bad thing for humanity.
Why would they have to show that? There's nothing in the manifesto, the guiding stone from which they're making their prescriptions, that says that in any way contradicts with the framework itself.
Well, what we would do in that case, again, as humanists, we would get together and we would say, is this going to cause harm? Then yes, well, then we won't do that.
Yeah, I know. So what if they got together and said, actually, I think that this will lower harm?
What if God said lock people up?
Yeah, no, but what if they said?
Yeah, but what if God said it was okay to do it?
What if he did? So anyway,
so would you? Right. So let's ask, because
you're just moving the goalposts.
Yeah, that's fine. But all you've done so far is ask me questions about mine, right? So I'm going to ask you questions about yours. What if God said it was okay to lock women up?
What if he did? Let's just say Christianity is a complete lie. All of it's nonsense. All of it's BS. We're talking about the effects of society.
So you're trying to get rid. Yeah. Okay. So if how would Christianity deal with this then? If we said, okay, it's a lower birth rate, let's lock people up and experiment on them to make higher birth rates. What would Christianity say about that?
Our ecclesiastical authority would say you're not allowed to do that.
Which one?
Well, in fact, here's how I would define Christian, if you want to make it easy. It's people who believe in the Nicene Creed, people who accept the Nicene Creed. All people who accept the Nicene Creed
Well
would now
outclassed,
put them in the
Flex.
category
Well
of Christians.
outclassed.
All of them would have the same moral framework, which would say that this
And
is
which
immoral.
moral framework
And you-
specifically, cite me the specific thing that says you can't lock women up and experiment on them.
I knew he was outclassed, Flex, before I even started the debate. I knew, but when I scheduled it, he was outclassed.
But then go to the other 260 rules as well.
You mean Noahide laws?
But they're part of Christianity, right?
No, not Noahide laws.
Well, some Christians would disagree with
Not the ones who believe in the Nicene Creed.
you. Well, okay, so you are saying that Christians that don't believe in the Nicene Creed aren't Christians.
Yes.
Well,
Craig,
again,
yes.
they think they're Christians.
That's what
though.
I'm saying.
But
Yes.
here's the thing: they think they're Christians.
Well, right now I think I'm a humanist. Am I?
Do you think that?
Am
doing
I a
no harm
humanist
is
right now, Craig? Because I made humanist prescriptions.
Do you think you're a humanist?
Yes.
Okay, then you can be. No, there's nothing. You can be a Christian. You can be a Christian and be a humanist. There's nothing wrong with that. You can be a Christian and be a humanist.
Okay.
Right.
Then my prescriptions are humanist prescriptions.
But if you could be a humanist, a Christian, and be a humanist, because humanism lets you have freedom of religion. But what you're saying right now is, I'm deciding what Christian is, but you don't get to decide what Christianity is because other Christians would disagree with you. And to be clear,
Yes, babe.
you are here to
Yes,
defend
babe,
all of
exactly.
Christianity, not just.
No, I'm not here to defend Christianity at all. I'm here to,
Well,
to defend the
actually you
effects
are.
of it on
Yeah,
society.
Yeah, what you're trying to do is why Christianity is better for society.
Yeah.
So that means you have to
It
go
does-
for
so
all.
would it matter?
That
Craig?
means, hold on, let me finish
Okay,
my point,
go ahead.
please.
Go
That
ahead.
means that you have to defend all of Christianity, not just the Christianity that you think is Christianity, because there's a lot of Christians that disagree with your definition of Christianity. But that doesn't matter. As a Christian,
Maybe.
you still
Maybe, Vlad.
you are here to defend every version of Christianity. That includes the Christianity of Ethiopia that hold the ancient texts that you don't believe in, because they still call themselves Christians.
They're still better for society than humanists. Like, what are you talking? All I'm here to do is to defend,
right?
Whether or
So,
not.
right.
To Craig, my turn, Craig.
And it's a contradiction anyway. The contradiction. Oh shit, I paused it.
All I'm here to do.
You can't be a humanist and a Christian at the same time. It's a contradiction.
Stop. I'm arguing because it has this intrinsic problem. The problem
Doing
is
no harm.
No.
I went through it in my intro, right?
Craig, chill
but let's
out.
look at
Craig,
Christianity.
chill out, Craig.
Andrew,
Oh,
right,
Flax
all
said it.
you've done,
Craig.
Andrew, all you've done so far
Craig,
is
chill
attack.
out, Craig.
is attack-
So he said it.
Go ahead, Andrew.
Yeah, thank you. So what I'm saying to you, Craig, is that because you suffer from this problem of your framework, right, has to be interpreted by your authority, which is the same exact criticism you
Yes,
have
babe.
against Christianity,
is.
by the way. You say it's logically impossible for the definition of harm to change because collectively we're just not going to change it.
Well, no, I
Right?
said it's
Hang on,
impossible.
hang
I said
on.
it's impossible
Craig,
to change
Right, babe.
your
Give
definition
me
of harm.
give me 10 seconds.
Well, if you straw
Calm
man me,
down.
I need to just let you know that
Calm
that's
down.
not what I said. That's
Okay,
all.
okay, calm down. You get a
So
chance.
I didn't say that.
Okay,
So just be
get a
fair.
chance, Craig. Calm down.
Give you a chance to wrap up.
Yeah. So anyway, the point here is that when I look at society, I don't see any effects from humanism. I see a lot of effects from Christianity, and a lot of them are
Bad
really,
ones.
really, really positive. Your humanist effects don't even exist because all you're saying is this: we use this like manifesto, this loose document of ideas that anybody, including a Christian humanist, can come up with the prescription that we're going to lock women up and forcibly breed them, and you
Yeah.
can't actually use your framework to tell them why that's wrong. You have to appeal to something outside of it. In this case, I don't know, loose libertarian print. Like, I don't know what principles you're even adhering to outside of it that
Let's
make
kick
you
it-
a humanist
Let's
now.
kick it back to Craig.
So individual autonomy prioritizes human welfare. There is nothing about human welfare that says locking women up and experimenting on them is good.
There's nothing that doesn't.
Well, there is, because it's human. It's that is against the ethics and justice. It's not. It's not.
Where?
Yeah,
Show me where.
Hold on,
it says
hold
that.
on, hold
It
on.
advocates for human rights and human.
Where's your ethics come from? If you're an atheist, where's your ethics come from? Where's your morals come from? Oh, I paused it. Sorry, I did that again. Stupid.
These are things that you can.
I meant to mute it. Not
So-
pause it.
So let's look at the. Let's look at how.
Okay.
Let's look at Christianity.
Sorry about that.
And let me ask you some questions about how Christianity is better for society.
Okay.
How is stoning people to death that work on the Sabbath better
Oh
for
my
society?
Does
goodness.
anybody in any Christian nation stone anybody to death?
It doesn't matter.
Do we
Why
do
you
that?
You can.
Do we do
Does
that?
anybody? Are we talking about whether the Bible's true or the effects of Christianity on society?
Yeah.
Is there a
has done-
single society which is Christian where they stone people to death,
That
Craig?
wasn't what I said.
So then what the fuck are you talking about?
So, but the Bible says that you can do that, though, right? So if we say
if the Bible says you could do it, Craig,
Yeah.
why aren't Christians doing it?
a lot of them do.
Where?
There is
Where?
There is many horrible Christians around the world. There is a Christian family that I was reading about where they had.
Can I see a show of hands for all the Christians who are here
do
who
you-
ever
do you-
stoned anybody to
do you
death?
Do you want me to speak?
Exactly.
I want to give.
You look like the
I wanna
type.
Give Craig a
So,
chance.
am I allowed? Right.
Go ahead.
Just
Let's give
because
Craig
you
a
don't
chance.
do that now doesn't mean that Christianity doesn't say that that's okay, right? You're not here to say, well,
Then why aren't they doing it?
You aren't here to say, well, why aren't they doing it?
Yes, I am. I'm here to say the effects of
aren't
Christianity on
here-
society are
He's an
better.
idiot.
You want me to
You
demonstrate
aren't
it?
here.
Look,
I got
we
5
do-
words
we
out.
do
5
A,
words.
B, C, D.
5 words out. I got 5 words out, people.
Can you
Five-
just show me where they're
I got
stoning?
5 words out, people.
Where are
but
Christians stoning
little boy
people
here,
to death?
Andrew, can
Where are Christians
5
stoning
words.
people
I
to
got
death?
5 words out, Andrew.
Okay, go ahead, Craig. Tell
Thank
us
you.
where they're stoning people to death.
Right. Okay. So the Bible says that you can stone people to death. The Bible says that you can beat your slave until it's fine until he gets up. The Bible says that women shouldn't vote.
And me too, movement. Me
It
too.
doesn't matter that that is not particularly what happens now. That is what Christianity says is okay. So
you should be able to point to a bunch of
did I
Christian
get my
countries
did
where
I,
women
did I
can't
get my
read,
question
right?
out? Did I get my question out, Andrew?
Well, okay, go ahead, Craig.
Yeah,
That was a
go ahead.
question.
So take a deep breath.
Yeah, I'm
Right.
sorry I interrupted your interruption. Go ahead.
Right. So
Sorry to be talking while you
Christianity
interrupted me.
has the Bible as its guidelines. And the Bible says that you can do these things. Whether or not that happens now is because people are moral in general, but it doesn't matter. Christianity specifically says that you can do these things and it's okay. So yes, it does. The Bible absolutely says that you can beat your slave. That is it.
Craig, I'm willing to engage.
Christianity doesn't say you can do it.
Those specific things that the Bible say that you can do make it better for society. How does suppressing women's rights and women's ability to read and talk, how is that better for society? Because the Bible says that you should do that.
That was the Hebrew times. Christians now who follow the way of Christ don't do that.
Where women are getting
I
stoned.
didn't
to
ask
death.
about Christian nation. Let's be
What-
clear.
what's
But
the-
can you answer my question?
Well,
I
is the
said,
debate-
how does the Bible?
Yeah, is the debate over whether the Bible is true or is it the effects of Christianity on society?
No, it's not. It's about which is better for society,
Great.
not
it's
the
which
effects.
is better. So let's go
Yeah,
over
so-
to which is better. When you're talking about what is better, when he says the Bible makes prescriptions that you can stone people to death, the Bible makes prescriptions that women be oppressed. The Bible makes prescriptions that women not be able to read. The Bible makes these prescriptions, right?
So how are they better
Let's
for
assume
society?
for a second the Bible does make those prescriptions.
It does, yeah.
And we just very stupidly, as Christians, misinterpreted all of that to mean the exact opposite, which must have happened because in all of these Christian nations, none of that shit's happening. Nobody's getting stoned to death, Craig, anywhere. Women in a
are you
Christian.
sure? Are you sure about
Yes,
that?
I'm sure.
Wait, I need to refresh it. Being a weirdo. Sorry, I had to refresh it because it plays up sometimes.
Where is all this happening, Craig? So either all of the Christians are really fucking up their own documents real bad,
Come on.
or your interpretation of the documents must be really wrong. However,
not
even
interpreting
if
anything.
Oh, stop. Why is it playing up? It's bloody playing. Right, sorry. Bloody playing up.
Nobody's
Why did you
getting
do
stoned
that
in
for
them.
me?
No one's getting beat to
Christian,
death in them.
which Christian societies in particular are great?
That's it.
Societies where the
Sorry,
overwhelming
guys.
majority of people are Christian.
Which ones are they?
Yeah, that would be all of the West, all of it,
And why are they so good in particular?
because they have an ethical framework which they can appeal to that's unchanging.
And is the ethical framework of those countries Christianity?
Yes.
So Christianity set the ethical framework for all of
Yes,
them.
they do,
Yes.
Flax. Yes, they do. Exactly.
Yes.
So
Now,
even,
you want me
even
to?
the ones that
would
go
you like me
against
to
the things that
demonstrate
the
it
Bible
for you?
says.
I'll demonstrate it for you.
Right.
So hang on, I'll explain it so that you know.
I still haven't got back to
I'm
my
going to
question.
explain
though.
it to you. You just asked me, so I'm going to explain it to you. So your law.
I don't know,
the laws that
babe.
you're working
Knitting.
with right now, those come from English common law. Okay, that's where it all comes from. The normative authority around English common law is Christianity.
No, it's
The
not.
yes, it is. The very
it's not.
guidestones for yes, it is, and the very guidestones for which
Not
you-
anymore. It's not no.
for which you build law. When you're talking, not anymore. I said the foundations.
No,
The
it's
foundations
it's
isn't-
completely changed.
okay,
we,
so
don't,
anyway,
we do not base
Craig,
our laws. There is
What does
nothing.
foundation?
There is
mean?
nothing in English law now that is based on Christianity.
Yeah, I'm talking about.
Oh my goodness.
But we
The
don't. We
things
don't
in which
use
you
that anymore.
enjoy-
The laws have
The
changed.
things in which you enjoy. Here's how it works.
You're claiming it's Christianity, but it's not. You're just saying something.
The laws are based on the Ten Commandments.
Social order is defined by its ethical morals. For instance, Aztecs, who put people on temples and cut their hearts out as human sacrifices, their society is going to be informed.
Where's the Aztecs
by
right
the
now?
moral? They're dead because Christians killed them. The
Christians killed
You
them.
should have left those heathen heart cutting out people. Come on. But anyway, the point is that Craig,
hold on.
I just want to finish one point in the talk, I promise.
Okay, finish your point.
So here it is. I think, and every reasonable sociologist would think the same thing, that the social order comes from the foundational ethics. So it works like this. Theology is what informs society. And you can see that happen with the political class as well, who comes from society in general. If you have a moral political class, generally speaking, you have a good set of ethics or theology which you can appeal to, right? As we see Christianity being moved out of these nations for secularists, does it look less corrupt? Or does it look more corrupt? Well, I say it looks more corrupt because they no longer have the ethical foundations to appeal to. They don't have the theology to appeal to. It doesn't even matter if it's true. Like, let's say it's all false. All Christianity is totally false, totally fake. They made it all up. It's based on a noble lie, right? But everybody believes it, and so it gives you all these great outcomes, right? Why would a humanist even argue that? Why would you even want to argue with it? It makes no sense to me. Go ahead.
Okay. So none of that answers any of my questions about...
Let's take questions one at a time. Go ahead.
So when it gets down to it, Christianity, although modern Christians do a lot of different things to what happens in the past, we can go back to what you said about the Aztecs. Oh, we killed those people, heathens cutting out the heart. Now, back in the past, the Aztecs did those horrible things, but back in the past, Christians did horrible things, right? You agree?
Yeah.
So who's to say that if Aztecs were in modern society, that cutting out the heart thing would not be part of society, right?
Probably it could be part of
But
society.
it also couldn't be. If we followed Christianity as it was in the past, right, then how would society be today if we were still stoning people to death?
Yeah, but we're not following.
But
we're not
that's
following
how
any of those prescriptions.
But if we were just to follow what
Christians, they never stoned anybody to death. Christians got stoned to death, but Christians didn't stone anyone.
You could be stone anybody to death, Craig.
Again, I'm not talking about what Christians say. I'm just talking about what the Bible and what your normative authority says, right?
Hey, listen, if Christians really believed that the Bible was making prescriptions to stone people to death, Craig, they would do it.
Right.
Do you know what a martyr? Hang on. Do you know what a martyr is?
Right.
So I just said.
Christ. There's people who give their entire lives to Christ, their whole life, forever and ever, forsaking all materialism. That's all they do. If those people thought that stoning people to death was part of the religion, they would do it, Craig. Right. They're not doing it.
Again, I'm not saying whether people think now that that is okay, but there's no denying that the Bible...
My point exactly, Flats. My point exactly.
That was part of society because of Christianity.
What would that have to do with the effects of society today? Nothing.
But society today isn't just because of Christianity. Society today is a melting pot. If we were to, it went back 500 years and took what Christianity was then and just carried that particular society on of just what they said Christianity was then, their interpretation of Christianity back then society would be, just for the people being stoned to death and people burnt at the stake.
Oh, you talked absolutely great.
They're not right now, but that's not because
when were they? Like, when were they?
Whenever the Bible was written.
Okay.
Right?
Do you realize?
But that's the thing. Hold on. My point is that the Bible is what Christianity is, right? And what you're doing is saying, well, as Christians now we don't do that, but that doesn't matter. Andrew,
that never happened. Let he who's without sin cast the first what?
Yes.
So are you saying that no one ever got stoned to death for working on the Sabbath?
In Christianity?
Yeah.
Where?
Not in Christianity.
No.
Are you saying there's not? It doesn't say in the Bible.
You're talking about Jewish law.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, that's Jewish law. That's not Christianity. That's not Christian ethics. Are we here to argue Jewish ethics or Christian ethics?
But that's in the Bible, and it says that's what you should do, right?
No, it does. No, you have a set of prescriptions in the New Covenant.
He's never read the bloody Bible.
That's Christian ethics. That's the ethics Christian.
Now you can tell Craig has never read the Bible at all, ever.
But it's still Christianity.
What? No, it's not.
So, why were the Crusades about then? Like wiping out half of Europe? Right?
That
How
was
is that?
That was
Let's
okay,
go
so
into-
that was
like,
Christianity.
we
That
can
was
get into
Jewish
Christianity
times.
if you want to, but
right,
no,
let,
it
let me
wasn't.
give let me give you stoning to death then, but let's talk about the Crusades. Oh, they
Okay.
believe different to us, so let's go and kill all of them. How is that good for society?
First of all, that's not what happened.
That it is. What
He's
happened?
never
it's
read the
not.
Bible
Wiped out
twice.
half
He's
of-
Are you
never
gonna
read
let
it
me
once.
respond? Or do you want an answer to this? Okay, the Crusades was a conflict between two different
Yeah, they're
anytime
not even a
two
page.
different ideologies come into contact, there's going to be problems.
Not even the
Spain had an
acknowledgement
encroachment
at the
from Muslims,
start.
from the Moors, forever and ever and ever. There, from the Byzantine Empire on, there had been issues going on in the undercurrent with Muslims and Christians, and it's because of land. Okay, it's because of land. I don't know if you know this or not, but there are two continent land bodies
coming
which are
in or what?
connected. One of which has what religion on it, and the other one of which has what religion on it, Craig?
Why didn't you hide yourself?
Christians and Muslims,
Because
right?
I'm not
What
on that
happens when
thing.
they begin to
Because I'm on
intersect
my
is they start
phone.
to fight.
Okay.
That's what led up to the
You
Crusades.
still could have hided
okay?
yourself.
And the thing is,
Listen.
sure, you can make all sorts
Oh,
of
right. Did you do it
justifications.
through the link?
Catholics are crazy sometimes.
Yeah.
So let me say
Like, babe,
for why it
I
is
need
that they
to.
wanted to go
I
over there.
can't be talking because I want everybody to hear
Catholics are
this.
part of
Depending-
No, I
depending
know,
on
but
what
I
it is
just
you're
want to
fighting over, but
say,
Muslims
Quickly.
also were pushing the boundaries every
Hey,
time.
Craig.
not
I
for
agree,
the
I
purpose
agree.
Quickly, babe, quick.
right,
Oh,
so
no,
Craig's
hold
on
on,
about
hold
the
on, hold
Bible.
on.
and
expansion. Now here's the thing.
He's
Now
on
here's the
about
thing, Craig.
the Bible.
Quick.
He's on about the Bible and Christianity, right? But
Yeah.
weren't he in the Royal British Navy who defends
Yes.
the monarchy, who is the head of the Church of England? So he's
Well,
a freaking hypocrite.
Of course he is. Of course he is. He should know the Bible. He
Like,
hasn't read a page of it, babe.
don't.
Babe, I need to get it back on. I need to
Love
get it back
you.
on. Love you
Bye.
too. Bye.
They were.
No, the Russians were never secular humanists.
They
That's
were
just-
secularists.
That's it. Is a secularist a secular
Can
humanist?
communists be humanists?
Is a secularist a secular humanist? Are they the same thing?
No, I think in this case that the communists there have something very akin. Their
Oh,
ideology.
Andrew, that's what not I asked. I
Yeah,
said,
I think-
is secularist the same as a secular
I'm already
humanist?
saying I'm giving you distinct categories. I said no. That's
Right.
not the
Well,
case.
well, then it doesn't matter because
It
I'm
does
not
matter.
a secularist. I'm a secular
I
humanist.
know,
They're different.
and I'm tying them together so that you understand.
But
What
no,
I'm
you
saying
can't-
is
you
that
can't- you can't
secularists,
apply
Nothing's
your
gonna help
things
us, like,
together.
nothing.
secularists have been in charge before, and if they have the same type of
Is that who's
Secularists
that?
or
Bro,
secular
stop.
humanists?
Are you going to ever let me talk?
Yeah, but I'm not a secularist. This isn't about secularism. This is about secular humanism. So you
No, it's actually
the Russians were never secular humanists.
okay.
Right?
Fine, Craig. Let's back up. Let's just say for a second that they weren't. That Russians were not secular humanists. Then where are the effects of secular humanism? Where can we find them?
Again, well, the countries that are the happiest in the world
Are not secular humanists, Craig. Can't bring those up.
They are secular.
They're not
humanists.
secular humanists, Craig.
The
Which
majority of the people there in those countries are secular humanists.
Show me one.
Oh my goodness.
Show you one.
Show me one country where the majority of people are secular humanists. One.
Most of the Netherlands.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
Oh my goodness.
Demonstrated.
It's got Google. Right
Yeah,
now.
Google it.
No.
Google if most of the Netherlands are secular humanists. Go ahead.
Right. What? You want to do it yourself?
Ah,
Want me to pull it up for you?
I didn't want to get that off of here.
This is a 2-minute warning that we have the Q&A coming shortly.
Q&A comment.
And folks, while you're waiting, we'll have everyone line up to my left. So right here in this aisle is where everybody will line up.
So this just was an open debate. I presented opening statements and then just open debate.
Subscribe button. We have many more debates coming up today, live here at Modern Day Debate.
Okay, so
Isn't it just blacks?
In 2021,
Isn't it just?
58% of Dutch people
Yeah.
said that they were secular humanists and didn't
No.
belong to any religious ideological group. Well, secular humanism is still a thing. It's like that many non-religious majority don't specifically label themselves that way. But of people aged 15 and over, in 2021, 58% of Dutch people identified as secular humanists.
Show me.
You can find the citation on I'm bringing it up. Sorry, one sec.
If you'd like to start lining up now for the Q&A, you're welcome to.
Well, it's from Wikipedia.
Because I got 9.4%, Craig. I'm just letting you know.
9.4% was about 5 years, 2015.
Uh-huh.
So in 2003, it was 9.4%. So back in 2003, 9.4% of the folks in the Netherlands identified with secular humanism. Fast forward to 2021, and 58% of Dutch people aged 15 and over said they identified as secular humanism and didn't belong to any religious ideological group.
Pull it over here so I can look at it. I can just find it.
Just like to summarize it, the whole thing for me. Where is it? 2015.
Folks, if you're watching at home, don't forget to hit that like button as well.
I just want to point out that that doesn't actually say that. I don't know what he's talking about.
See what I mean?
That does not say that, Craig. You just made it up, Craig.
See what I mean?
I didn't. I read it off of the site.
You read it off of. I made it the fuck up site.
See what I mean? He's a liar. He's an absolute liar. Craig, you liar. You've been done. You're caught out.
Is that?
Let me get that back up. Sorry. Give me one second.
Okay. I'll give you
What a
second.
liar.
The information from that site.
Yeah.
No
information from
way.
No, not from made it up.
Yeah. Source that
Craig, you're out of your depth, bro. You're out of your depth.
As mentioned, folks, we have 3 more debates coming up today. We're going to jump into the Q&A. I'm going to start with the first question now.
No surprise there.
I'm just going to hold the mic for everybody.
Oh, here's the question, Q&A.
I will get you the
as short
statistics,
and pithy
right,
as
specifically
possible.
because I did have it in my notes, but I can't find the site that I got it from, right? But that's where my notes are from.
We're
right?
going to
So
go.
source, I made it up.
No.
We're going
Yeah,
To
to
be
go.
clear,
You made it
Andrew,
up.
I'm saying to you right now that I will get you my source because the notes are actually on my computer at home, which I couldn't bring with me to America.
So
Right.
why did you
Then
read
what
your
did you
phone
just
as though you
read?
were reading it out
My
there?
summary,
You're a
but
liar.
the summary didn't have the link to the site that I got it from.
Oh, okay.
Going to
Right?
go.
So I'm saying to you right now that I will get you those details to show that I'm not making it up. I will
You are
personally
making it
give
up.
those to you, right, when I get home and find the link
Okay.
on my computer at home.
Okay, great.
Now,
Great,
okay?
Craig. Yeah.
So just to be clear,
We're
By the
going
way,
to
it's
go.
9%. 9%.
We're
Just
going
pointed
to
it out.
9% in
Anyway.
2015. 9% in
go.
2015.
Waiting for your counter, Craig.
Yeah.
We have to go
Again,
into Q&A.
9%
Well, hold
in
on.
2015. In 2021, it was
We're moving
58%.
in.
Let me just say, if it was 9% in hold on, yeah, 9% in 2015, there's no way by 2021 it's going to go up to 58% that quickly. No way. No way.
It's whatever is less harmful. There's no secular humanism doesn't give a decision on whether it's legal or not. It's how much harm it does to people. So yeah.
Yeah, guys, can you keep Craig in the
This
States?
question is for Craig, and then I'd like Andrew to make fun of him.
Don't let him come back to the UK.
Yes,
Are
sir.
you ready? Good to make fun of me. Just
Yes.
ready. Good.
We're old enough to have gone through COVID, and we saw and were told
Of course, flats, just like Duffy.
we could not fly, not go out to dinner, lose your job. We saw parks filled with sand, surfers arrested on the water, bank accounts frozen, brutalized for not wearing a mask in Australia. Question is, who will be invited to the group of secular humanists who will interpret the manifesto? Do you understand why anyone listening to you is skeptical that a group of people deciding on behalf of the world would not get things correct?
So,
Well said.
Also, haha.
yeah, I don't think secular humanists were the one that decided you had to have the vaccines. Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's give him a
that,
chance
yeah,
to
I was
respond.
thinking that.
Go ahead, Craig.
I don't personally agree with all the things they said that they had to do for COVID. Right? What happened at the time was put in place to potentially reduce the harm. We didn't know exactly how harmful it was going to be. So,
we have to move to the next one.
But I don't really see how it relates to secular humanism being better for society. I would just, at the time, I would have gone with what the science said, but so did a lot of the Christians that I knew.
Science.
But
All right.
let's be clear,
All
going,
right,
with,
folks,
going
actually-
with
we
what
actually
science
be-
says is not just automatically secular humanism.
But my harm, Craig.
All right, guys, if you
But
want to have
my
a
harm.
Let me-
gentlemen,
let me answer
anybody
the
who wants to
question.
have a
Let me-
anybody who wants to, Craig, give
this-
me one moment.
Yeah, sorry.
Anybody who's talking, I need you to take the hallway. It's distracting.
Yeah, so just to be clear, just because it goes with the science doesn't mean that that's automatically secular humanism. Secular humanism looks at the science for guidance. Just because science was used, that doesn't mean that therefore it's secular humanism. And science doesn't always get things 100% right. Science is an ongoing process. So, I mean, I agree with.
You don't know what
criticism
science
of what we
is.
did for COVID 100%. But for me, I did the things they said because I didn't want to cause other people harm.
Yeah, but
Next
do you
question.
see what happens if you say a group of bureaucrats or just secular humanists are all going to get together and make the moral prescriptions
what thou
based
wilt.
on a manifesto that makes no moral
That's
prescriptions?
what it end up
You can
being.
interpret it however you want, including with COVID restrictions, just based on arbitrary bullshit nonsense. That's his entire point, and that's exactly what happened when you fuckers were in charge.
We'll give. I want to give the last
But
word
we
to
weren't
Craig
in
because
charge.
We
we're,
weren't in
hold on
charge.
one
It wasn't
second. Hold
Christians
on.
doing
I want
it.
to give the last one to Craig.
The last
Well,
word to Craig because the question was directed at him. I want him to have the last,
Well, okay.
the last word
Fair
for
enough.
himself, and then we're going to go to the next question. Go ahead, Craig.
Yeah, secular humanists weren't the one that decided that's what should happen. It was like the WHO and stuff. So
We're going to the next question.
Isa.
Hey, I have to push a little bit from what Andrew said. My question is for you, Craig. How would we define what makes one a secular humanist versus what is not a secular humanist? Like, he brought up the Soviet Union, and you said that they're secularists. So what is the standard for what is a secular humanist versus what is not a secular humanist?
Secular humanism is just based on valuing individual autonomy, emphasizing critical thinking and prioritizing human welfare, upholding reasoned ethics and justice, advocates for human rights and social equality, emphasizes the search for truth, promotes common sense and fairness based on solid evidence, and ensures equal opportunities. Let's look at Russia, and even though they were secularists, they were run by an authoritarian that decided what they had to do. There was no, looking at what is
Probably a
less
good
harm.
few,
They classed
yeah.
themselves as secularists, but they were definitely not secular humanists because whoever was running that country wanted to cause people harm if they didn't do what they were told. So there's, just because you're a secularist doesn't mean you're a secular humanist. You seem to get, a lot of people have the impression that if you're not Christian or you're not religious, you're automatically secular humanist, but that's not the case. Thank you for the question.
Move to the next question.
My question is for Craig.
No one wants to talk to you, Andrew.
My question is, how do you resolve the contradiction in your worldview, which says the definition of suffering won't change, and yet the framework of the secular humanism is ever evolving and can adapt as we go on? And what is stopping a secular humanist nation for adopting the same policies that Nazi Germany adopted, using their same principles of science, and the Jews are actually impacting us in a negative way that is harming us more than it's benefiting us?
Well, one of the main things secular humanism is freedom of religion. So we wouldn't, if you're Jewish, we're not going to start attacking you just because you're Jewish. But there's no contradiction. Sorry, could you just, the first bit of your question again? I'm sorry.
How do you resolve the contradiction in your worldview that says the definition of suffering would not change? But
yeah, well, I didn't say suffering. We were talking about harm, but yeah, suffering is this. I understand.
Lincoln Flats.
Again, we would look at what actually, how we define, how we feel about suffering and happiness. What causes suffering? What makes a person feel like they're suffering? And we define it on that. We wouldn't just go, well, we think that they're bad people, therefore we're going to go and kill them, because that would then cause them suffering. And we wouldn't want to just cause other people suffering because they don't believe what you believe. Now, would we defend ourselves against people trying to hurt us? Yes, but that's very different to just going and causing people actual pain. We wouldn't change the definition of suffering to mean, oh, you don't have pain, because that's part of it, right? That's how you, I mean, I am in agony 24 hours a day. I've got injuries in my shoulder. I've got
Flats, can I just say I'm putting your link in. Thumbnail's brilliant, but the title is the same as yesterday. It's called Bev Try Thinking. You've called it, you've said it's the same title. That's the link for Flats' stream tonight. But Flats, you've called it Bev Try Thinking.
Also, guys, I've been in his position. I've been in Craig's position where the entire audience seems hostile, right?
Oh, I love it. It's
You
cool.
don't
I'm
have
happy.
a ton of debate experience. So let's do this one thing. Give him a massive round of applause. He went the whole round. He went the whole way, buddy.
Yeah, I do appreciate it, guys, that I'm new at debating this particular side of things. I don't know all of the vernacular,
So just
and all
relax,
of the
man. We'll
arguments
get
and stuff,
right
but I'm
through
having fun, and I hope I've done well. And I hope you're all having a good time. Let's hear it for James, everyone, for organising this. Come on. Andrew's a dick. Who said that?
Okay, so I just have a quick question. What do you consider like countries like Iceland? You brought up the Netherlands. Like Iceland would be like a secular humanist nation then, or?
Honestly, I haven't particularly looked into Iceland. It's such a low population. It didn't really appear in many of my statistics that I looked up. So I wouldn't want to answer that question if I don't have the particular answer and get it wrong.
Okay, so my just follow up to that is, so like it seems that you're going off of things like harm, technology, science, individual autonomy, but in a country which is at least more secular, like Iceland, they had problems where like they got rid of Down syndrome in their country relatively quickly because they just tested them and aborted and got rid of them.
Love the
So
thumbnail.
if you're going off of harm or human flourishing, wouldn't that be justified in your worldview?
People with Down syndrome don't necessarily suffer and have harm just because they are Down syndrome. And in fact, my personal story, my uncle had Down syndrome, and when my nan was pregnant with him, the nurses told her just abort. It's going to be, he's going to have an awful life and everything. But because my nan was a good person and didn't want to cause harm to her fetus and thought that she could still give that human a good life, she carried on with the birth, and my uncle lived for nearly 70 years with Down syndrome, and he had a happy, healthful, productive life, even as someone with Down syndrome. So I don't, if we were look at as humans to flourish, in that situation, both my nan flourished and my uncle flourished. They had good lives. They had love and happiness together. So I think getting rid of Down syndrome just as it's bad for society, I don't think that's necessarily what secular humanism would do. Would they give the option? Yeah. And would a lot of people choose to not have that child because they don't want them to potentially suffer? Maybe. Maybe it was the option and people's individual choices that caused that. But there is certainly no law in Iceland, right, that said you've got Down syndrome, you can't have a baby. It was more down to personal choice, right?
Hi, this question is for Andrew.
Oh, finally.
So
yes, I am the best looking man in this room.
So your prescription of Tenet 1, that all women should be forcibly bred due to lower birth rates, does not represent secular humanism because it violates consent, which causes harm. So I'd like to make my own prescription based off of a story in the Bible, which the Bible is the Christian's moral framework. So Numbers 31 tells how Moses went into battle with the Midianites and afterwards took the virgin women probably as sex slaves. Therefore, sex slavery is moral under Christianity. Can you refute that?
What?
I'm sorry, what was the tale?
So Numbers 31.
That's
Moses
Old
went into battle
Testament.
with the Midianites, and after the battle,
That's
he
under
took
Levitical
the
law.
virgin women, most likely as sex slaves, being that they're virgin women. And
Wait, what is most
Hold
likely?
on.
You made it up?
Or is
No,
it?
no.
Does most likely mean you made
That's
it up?
my interpretation.
Oh, okay. Well, it's my interpretation. Your interpretation's wrong.
But that was my answer to you.
That's my answer. It's the same critique back and forth. Besides that, I don't have to listen to you. You're a woman. I'm kidding. I was kidding. Relax. I'm kidding. Kinda.
For Craig, is it wrong to put an 8-week-old corgi puppy into a blender and turn it to a smoothie for lunch? Would it be like harmful?
To the corgi, most definitely.
Okay, so if yes, then harm applies to animals. A secular humanist who doesn't cause harm would then be a vegan, which you are not. You were talking MXXD about getting steaks on your prep stream while you were here. Special pleading is a fallacy, as I hope you know. And since secular humanism entails being rational, I would like to know what the trait is that makes it wrong to put the puppy into a blender, but not.
Go ahead.
No, she hasn't. I said that flat.
Secular humanism.
Said it was Old
secular
Testament.
Dogism, but putting a dog into a blender, I mean, it would taste really bad for a start. I mean.
Oh, you're going to eat it as well. Drink it as well.
Kick
Nice.
it first, and maybe I don't know. But anyway, I don't think anything about secular humanism says putting a dog into a blender is something that could happen. I mean, I really don't know where to go with that question because it's about a dog and not humanism. And you know, I don't think a Christian or a secular humanism would do that. So really don't know where to go with that question, to be honest.
Hi, question for Craig. It seems that your ground of your worldview is built on the core values I see upholds reason, ethics, and justice. I just would like some
Yeah, Andrew's
elaboration
funny.
on
He's
that.
cool. He's cool.
These are super philosophically vague terms that philosophers have not come to one agreement on. For example, the philosopher Immanuel Kant would argue that reason commands us to follow ethics that follow principles, whereas someone like John Stuart Mill, utilitarian, which you seem to more abide by, would argue that we need to base it on outcomes. So how would secular humanism solve these debates in philosophy and give us just one singular reason, ethics, and justice to follow?
We would set our ethics and moral standards based on what secular humanism says. So we would want an ethical world based on
to do what thou wilt,
flourishing, and justice based on that. You mentioned the utilitarian. That's different to secular humanism. They would do things differently. I didn't get into the
morals
ethics
come
and
from God.
morals as much.
Nothing to do with
because it was
humanism.
about society. I know, but it's one of the core values. But I didn't, go into defining how secular humanism gets ethics. I have to refer to my notes because I did say that too.
Yeah, morals come from God, Craig. Not from humanism, secularism, whatever you want to bloody call it.
It's okay. I'm just asking you to define reason, ethics, and justice, and ideally also back up your reason for picking that definition, because these are widely philosophically debated between, just for example, like deontological ethics, like someone like Kant, and you seem to follow like utilitarian ethics, like greatest flourishing, greatest amount of people. Why do you pick that? And because it seems like your ultimate ground for reasoning is these core values, but if those are just assumed without definitions, I don't see how that logically works. It seems like you're just going to refer to your own ethics in a circle. So I'm just asking you to define that, so to give you a chance to get out of that circle.
Well, again, we would, I'm not going to deny that ethics and morals and reason, they're debated hotly as to how you can define them. But as I'm sure Lawrence Krauss will in his debate later, explain what the ethics and morals of secular humanism is, and how they come about. But for me, it's the ethics and the reason will be based on looking at what happens to society and the harm done on people and how we can advance society. And we would define our ethics and our reason and our morals based on how you're going to help humans in the future. Okay, thank you.
Oh, I think it's good to say something else.
How you doing?
Good, thank you. Before you said that it's impossible for secular humanists it's logically impossible for them to change their prescriptions. With this,
No.
You said that it's logically possible for them to change their prescription.
No,
logically impossible.
What I said was it was
There's no point,
logically
Flats.
impossible to come
No
to the
point.
conclusion that that
You
was
slaughter
okay, not that we couldn't change the definition.
But I came to the conclusion it was okay.
Yeah,
clearly
but
it's
so
not
if,
logically
you,
impossible.
but if you're saying that it's logically impossible, you're implying that both logic and morality are objective. So how do you ground that objectivity in both logic and morality? And then also you have to ground it outside of human perception, not just my preferences. Because if you say it just comes down to your preferences, then what's wrong with Andrew's preferences?
Exactly.
It's not preferences, it's experiences as humans.
Everybody's got
as a
different
collective
preferences.
group of humans we would experience and perceive as a bad thing to happen to us, and we would base it on that rather than anything specific. We would say, okay, so humans as a whole, we experience this as bad. We get hurt, that's bad. We feel unhappy, that's bad. We get depressed, that's bad. We and then we would use that as our basis. No, it doesn't have to be.
Hello, my question is for Andrew. During the open discussion, you mentioned that the harm principle kind of relies on public opinion.
I said that earlier,
Secular
Flats, about the
humanists
sponsors.
might change their views
Mad,
as time goes on, and perhaps allow for experimenting on women to produce
Sure.
fertility.
Yeah, sure.
You mentioned also that the Ten Commandments somehow, on the Christian worldview, somehow stops that from happening, but I don't really see, because
No, that's not. So I'll give you the point again. So Craig said that it's logically impossible for secularists to change the harm principle. right? They're never going to be able to come to the same conclusion that I came to. That's logically impossible based on how they perceive harm, right? My dispute is how does that work? They already dispute between each other what harm is, right? So clearly it's not logically impossible. If Wolverine's logically possible, but it's not logically possible to come to my conclusions, that sounds absurd to me, right? That sounds absurd. So that's what that argument was about. Now, would Christianity also disagree with those prescriptions for society? Absolutely. Absolutely. Those
There's a load of
who
bots in there as well. There was bots in there earlier. I could tell by the way they were
immoral and unconscionable
commenting.
to lock women in cages and breed them. Go ahead.
But that could also change because again, the interpretation could change. There's nothing in the Nicene Creed.
Come on, I can't hear you.
Doctrine that explicitly states.
Yes, explicitly there is. Well, so explicitly the Nicene Creed is walking through the belief in Christ, the Holy Trinity, the affirmation of the teachings of Jesus Christ. Those affirmations of the teachings of Jesus Christ, I don't see, how could you ever get to lock women in cages and breed them from the teachings of Jesus Christ?
I know,
I don't see how that's being
I'm
possible.
they did the
That I
page
don't see
again.
how. You would have to really be stretching it.
Go to the next question.
Good pay to see Craig, man.
The Old Testament covenant and the New Testament covenant. Thank you for that. Also, I have a gift for you and one for James. And also, I have a question for Greg. Please, thank you so much for being here.
No worries. Thank you for the question.
You were saying that the secular humanism worries about the happiness and the autonomous of the people.
Mhm.
What if there was a society that was all pedophiles and
Ooh.
they were worried about reproduction and they became a big society and they became autonomous? How would you contend with that?
Well,
pedophile community.
Pedophilia
Yeah,
causes harm to children. So, I mean, it would fall outside of the purviews of secular humanism. We wouldn't have a society of pedophiles because that would inherently cause people harm.
Can
right?
I tell you about a little island?
Yeah. Are these people secular humanists, though? I brought that up in my intro and about that little island. And did you know that a study on the tribe in that island showed that it had one of the highest percentages of depression out of any people that had ever been studied?
Yeah, how come it wasn't humanist missionaries who got them to stop that, but Christian missionaries?
We'll go to the next question.
There's no such thing as a humanist missionary.
That's right. There's
Right.
because what are you
We're
going to
gonna go-
spread?
Right.
My preferences?
Right. But there would be no secular
Excuse me,
humanist
gentlemen.
that
It's my
thinks that's okay.
preferences. You stop that behavior immediately. I
Let's go to the
prefer
next
not
question.
to.
How you doing? Craig, thank you for being here.
Hiya.
There's got to be a lot of pressure. I'm really impressed with your performance, so thank you very
Thank
much.
you. I mean,
I don't agree with much what you say, but
this
I
is
really
my
appreciate
first ever live debate, so I'm extremely nervous. And Andrew he's the best debater I've ever faced because I normally talk to flat earthers who, let's face it, can't tie their shoelaces.
it. So I've got a quick question. I
Ask.
don't really know about,
Confirm Andrew tied his shoelaces.
Just checking.
so I don't really understand the
See, he has to get it in, doesn't he? What a dick.
that you guys are talking about, but you mentioned something about consent and ongoing consent.
Yeah.
Is that a fundamental of this principle that says ethical values are derived from human need and interest as tested by experience? Is that where that comes from? And I have a question to follow on if that's
Yes.
correct.
So consent, at least as far as I understand consent is two parts. Okay. Yes. And then the continued of yes. Okay. Right. So that's how I feel about that.
So my question is, could you defend that incest is good because the brother and the
Nice.
sister, they both consent, they continually consent. There's a potential that they could have a malformed baby, but it's not necessarily given. Is that something that you could defend with secular
No,
humanism?
you answered it in your own question. There's a potential for harm there. There's a
Yeah, what if they're sterile? Yeah.
okay, right. So even if they're sterile, studies show that incestuous relationships often end in depression and suicide. So
Studies show that about all relationships.
I don't know what kind of relationships you've been in, Andrew, but
I'm sorry, but when it comes to
in
marriage,
particular-
relationships between men and women, all sorts of relationships.
let me
in like that.
finish my point. In particular, studies show that incestuous relationships have a higher percentage of depression, suicide, and other issues. So incestuous relationships.
So
could
do
be-
marriages.
Yeah.
So incestuous relationships, but a higher percentage, Andrew. That's
Then
the
what?
point.
A higher percentage than what?
And higher percentage than non-incestuous relationships.
Yeah.
Andrew.
So if you have a higher percentage of people who get married and they have all of those like problems, right? When it's same types of problems, depression, this and
married
that,
people aren't
then
incestuous,
wouldn't you have to say, well, then he shouldn't get married?
That married people aren't incestuous. Though.
Yeah, but what my point is
the
that
question was about incestuous
Yeah, but don't
people,
you
though.
understand the point here? The entailment is if this causes, if your only objection to it is, well, it could possibly cause you to become depressed, you would have to apply that to all interpersonal relationships, of which, if they break up, the person could become depressed.
But again, it's about looking at how much harm it does. Incest.
How do you quantify that? If a brother and sister,
I've
and the
explained
sister
how you
can't
can
reproduce,
quantify it.
want a hump, who are you to say they can't, Craig?
Oh, come on.
Again, you quantify it by how much harm it could possibly do in the outcome. But the law of the land isn't secular humanism. And
Yeah, but we're not asking about the law of the land. We're asking about secular humanist. How does a secular humanist tell a woman and a man who want to have a consensual sexual relationship without the potential for offspring, like homosexuals, for instance, they can't do it?
Hey, Can't Fix Stupid. Good to see you. By the way, guys, it was him that put me onto this.
like I said, studies shown that incestuous relationships. are
Marriage
more
causes
likely-
harm, Craig.
Not as much. It's
not as much as what?
As marriage.
How do you know that?
Because of studies that I've
Studies.
read.
No study shows. No study is saying incest causes more harm than people who get divorced. There's no comparative study for that.
I can actually show you the studies. These are things
Oh,
that I've
no, you
researched.
can't. Ridiculous.
Just because you deny the studies doesn't mean they
Let's
don't
say
exist.
that there was a study that says it didn't. Let's say there was a study that said
I can only go on
if you
studies
have
that
an
do that.
incestuous relationship, it only has about the same amount of depression rate as anybody else who gets married. What would your objection to it then be?
Give you a chance to answer, Craig, and then we got to wrap up.
Let's just say, what would your objective then be, or objection then be, if the study said it's just like the normal population when they break up a marriage, it has the same type of depression rates as that? What would your argument against it then be?
It causes harm.
Yeah, it doesn't though. Under those circumstances, it has the same harm as a marriage.
Oh, it's you're saying something that doesn't happen though.
What?
That's the
Yes,
thing.
incest happens, Craig.
No, you're saying what if it showed it doesn't cause as much
Yeah,
harm,
if the
but it does.
studies showed that incest didn't have any higher outcome of
but they do show
depression,
that.
but if it didn't, Craig, how would you feel if you didn't eat breakfast this
I'll
morning?
give you a Craig. I'll give you a chance to answer, and then this really is going to
Okay.
wrap up.
All right.
Okay. Honestly, I disagree with it, and secular humanists would probably disagree with it because of the potential to cause harm.
Okay.
We're going to wrap up with that. Folks, I want to ask of you to join me in applauding our speakers. That was amazing.
Nice. Nice.
Thank you very much.
Should have boxed him.
What we'll do
I would
is we're going to
box
wrap
him.
up now.
That's
You're
me,
on.
intro.
Everybody is on their own for lunch, and that'll be an hour and a half. So we'll be back at 1:30 for the next debate. Thanks very much, folks. We'll see you at 1:30. Oh, and the restaurant on site is open. What was it, Bob? Tom's. Oh, you're right. Oh, hold on one second.
This is why I think it's bad. Look, sponsored by atheists for sponsored by atheists for liberty. Ridiculous, man.
So what we're going to do is the same vote that we did beforehand, really quick. If you would agree more with Fight the Flat Earth, aka Craig, would you slip your hand up, please? Give you a chance to count.
Go on then, quickly.
And then if you agree with Andrew, you're more leaning on his
Yes. On you go.
And remember, it is by a percentage. So percentage is what we look at, comparing the before and after.
Don't be a cheat now. No probs, no probs. I'll see you in yours, Flats. I'll put your link in again. This is Flats' link for later on, guys. 6:30. We're reviewing this big debate.
Do the math on that.
Bless Flats.
You have a winner.
No hands.
Looks like you got it. And that's by percent, though.
Come on, then.
You got
Say it.
Okay, thank you very much. Andrew Wilson. We will.
Yo.
You bet. Thanks, folks. And then that's Tom's Grill is open.
Right.
There's also a.
That'll do it. That'll do it. That'll do it. Oh, well, that was all right. I mean, Craig was full of crap, but Andrew had him. He just wouldn't shut up. That was his tactic, obfuscate. And what did Andrew say at the start in his presentation? And sorry, in his opening statement, he's got a claim straw man. And he doesn't even know what a straw man is. What did he do? Straight away, claim straw man. Unbelievable. No problem, Moss High. Play out with a song. Harry Mack, I think. Play out with Harry Mack. And I will see you guys on Flatses. So let's play out with Harry Mack first. But yeah. We'll go and we'll review that tonight in Flatses. So make sure you come there, guys. That'll be ace. Because come on. Oh, you got slaughtered. Nice. Right. Harry Hack. Let's do it. Where are you, Harry Mack? There we go. I'll play 2 songs. No, it's Harry Mack. I've got other ones for them tonight. Remember, I'm on tonight after Flats as well. It's another movie night. We're doing Mother Nature's Hungry Mother Nature. I know, like natural disasters and stuff. Obviously, I don't believe in Mother Nature. It's just a title type thing. And then we'll be watching Book of Eli and Constantine. That's after Flats is on 11 o'clock. I'll put the link in as well after. I'll put the link on while the music's on. Here we go. Murray Hack. Hey, Mike.
What's up, bro?
It's a YouTuber. Oh, it's a YouTuber. What's up?
Not much, man. How you guys doing?
We need some money, bro. Can you cash up us some money?
Nah, I can't cash app you some money. What is that?
What's your YouTube?
What are you
What's
doing?
your YouTube?
I'll share it with you in a second, but first tell me, what is that? What is that blue thing? Oh, it's a chalkboard?
It's for chalk.
Oh, that's what's up. Well, yo, I'm on here doing freestyle raps for people, man. Could I do a freestyle for y'all?
Yo, what's your YouTube, bro? Put me in that video, bro.
All right. Help me out. I'm going to improvise. So let me get 3 challenging words to inspire my freestyle.
Yo, listen. Dictionary.
Dictionary?
Tyquavius.
What's Tyquavius?
It's a name.
Whose name is it?
My brothers.
Tyquavius. All right, shout out to Tyquavius, but the thing is, I like to expand on the words, and I don't know your brother, so...
Dictionary.
Yeah, dictionary.
Piano. And headset.
What's up? Dictionary, piano, and headset. Y'all ready?
Yeah. Let's get this.
Let's get this. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Shaq. Come on. 1, 2, 1, 2. Y'all ready? Let's go. Yeah. When it comes to kicking lyrics, I'm the spitting boss. Like it says up on your hoodie, I be dripping sauce. H-Mag coming with them scandalous facts. Yo, dude in the hoodie, they all be dancing like that. I got them going crazy when I be spitting with passion. Got them yelling out loud, that's a normal reaction. Yo, every time I spit, man, I'm coming off the top. When they be coming to kicking the freestyle lyrics, the people be knowing I'm hot. Make up in it, I make it happen. Are they on my level? I say no way. I got the dude in the chair saying okay. H-Mag really holding it down, coming off the top with the flows to astound. Yeah, I'm getting it done. Y'all know that I'm a visionary, giving y'all a new definition just like a dictionary. I'm the type of rapper that they never bored with, flipping through synonyms like thesaurus. Yeah, H-Mag, y'all know I cook better hooks, pulling out the dictionary as a reference book. I'm looking up my name, hold up, wait kid, cause when I look up my name, all it says is greatness. I'ma state this off the top, y'all know it's ill. Whenever I be grabbing the mic, I'm about to spill. He's like, yes, sir. I'ma put the game up under pressure. Tough as leather. With the bars, they couldn't measure. All up on it. Y'all know my bars are off the handle. Based on your suggestion, I'll choose a beat with piano. H-Mac, I'ma make it happen with ease. It's like I'm playing piano, cause H-Mac got the keys. I'm opening doors. Y'all know I'm about to unlock them. I'm truly rocking. I'm leaving rappers with no option. Know what's the problem? Y'all know that Mac ain't never stopping. I'll keep on dropping till they bury me in the coffin with dope concoctions. I be spilling these poems. Peace to these dudes chilling and filming on phone. Yeah, they like, hold up, he's a master kid. I gotta pull out my phone so I can capture this. Anytime that I be rhyming, y'all know I'm about to holler skill. Homie got the red iPhone with $5 bill. Yeah, and y'all know I'm here to slay a man. $5 bill, cause H-Mac is going Abraham. Yeah, and y'all know I'm about to promise today. I never lie in the booth, I keep it honest like Abe. Yeah, y'all know my lyrics make them holler, but I guarantee my bars are worth more than $5. Bring them Benjamins, yo, then again I'm about to hock some phlegm for them, so I can crack your brain open, get inside your endocrine. Shouts to my little man, I'ma rock the cypher jam, shoot a web out and swing through your city like I'm Spider-Man. H-Mac, I make it look easy. They marvel at my flows from LA to DC. Yeah, I really brung this, man. Shout to the Spider-Man shirt, that's my youngest fan. I got love for you, no doubt. I'ma whip the flows out. Every time I'm spitting, I be staying on my cold route. They like, Mac, is you in the red? Yep. Yo, turn me up so loud, I'ma straight be peeking through your headset. Yeah, H-Mac, I really do it. I really spill the fluid. I'm here to kill the music. Hey, yo, I had to kick a free for y'all. I fill up with glee, evolve to a higher level while I spit for all three of y'all. I said my freestyles banging. If they was the red coat in the back, they couldn't be hanging. H-Mac never been no type of liar. Like my homie in the chair said, yo, that was fire. Let's go.
Let's go. Let's go. There you go. Harry Macker. Finish off. Actually, I'll finish off with a Heron song. I downloaded 3 of her songs from our channel. So it's pity she's not here. But let's play one of Heron's. Because she's brilliant. She's good. She's really good. Let's play one of Heron's songs. Which one? Love Tree, the one we seen the other day. All Girls Like Reggae. Did we play that one? Or did we play the coffee song? All Girls Like Reggae. I can't remember. Let's play All Girls Like Reggae. Let's play it. This is the Heron song. Boing, doing. Hey, big up Heron Song. Bless her, man. It's ace. Oh yeah, Roger. Yeah, what did you say thank you to Vicky for earlier on in this chat? What was the thank you for? You're on about headache with Craig because this was where we watched the Andrew Wilson and Craig in FTFE live, and then we watched it live, but we're reviewing it in Flat's tonight. So there you go. End of the stream anyway. It was good. Good to see. I'm glad I did it. But I'm on tonight again after Flat says. I'll put the links in. New again. So, oh yeah, I just got like if anybody's interested, the Crucible, is Andrew Wilson's channel, who was just debating, is having a watch party now. So they probably watched the debate and doing something else. I don't know. I've never been there before. I've watched him on whatever clips, but I've never been on his own stream. But there's a link there. In case anyone's interested. Is that the one? Yeah. What's party? It's finished. It's finished now. But there you go. That was their watch party. It was probably just what we've watched anyway, from their point of view, sort of thing. You've been there. All right, cool. That's the link anyway. But yeah, they've just finished, sort of thing. So yeah. Cool. I think that's it. I think that. Oh no, put my links in for tonight. For tonight is the night when two become one. All right, come on. Get it on. Crack it on. Come on. Live. And I made a new video today. If anybody's interested, it's on my videos. 16 minutes. It was a premiere, but now a video. It's only got 25 views, so anybody wants to watch it, go for it. I know, but I just seen Vicky's WhatsApp. She's allergic to Craig. She calls him. She's spelling it Craig now. Nice. Right, link. All you gotta do. Right, link for movie night tonight. That's there. Oh, wow. I can't do I haven't got the Rumble site done yet because I'm using Rumble now and you can only do one slot at a time. So there you go. PJ didn't do it. Didn't do what? Oh, yeah, Roger. Yeah, that's what I was asking. What was you thanking Vicky for earlier in this chat? Vicky was wondering as well. Because you were the first in chat and you just said thank you, Vicky. I don't know. She doesn't know what that was for. What was you saying thank you for? Answer me, Ledwell. I want to know. I'll wait a minute, but there you go. Probably doesn't even hear me. I don't know. I'll end the stream anyway, but the chat will go on for a minute or two. So bless you guys, and I'll see you in letters. Unless, I don't know. Roger Ledwell was thanking me just for being me. Oh, is that all the words? What do you mean? Is that it? I thought it was something juicy. No way. Hibbity dibbity hip hop. Can't you stop? Shabuya. Shabuya roll call. Shabuya. Shabuya roll call. Anyway, let's stop. Bless, guys. Bless. And thank you for spending the time me watching live. Craig. Andrew Wilson's Lord, and the simple as MOB reviewing it tonight in Flat's. So see you guys there. Bless you. Been a pleasure. Here the sunset's free. It's free indeed. Ta-ta.